Y'all, I see Throm's
Nothing.
in here. Are you actually here, Throm?
Yeah.
Sweet. Alright. Yeah, sorry about the delay. Daycare and all that.
No problem. Get it together, Dylan.
I know. Priorities. Alright. So, last episode on Dungeons and Dylan's Ball Z. You guys had a lot of planning, kind of coming into the town of Utsad, after hearing from these little girls and boys that you rescued that the town was under attack. So after quite a bit of role playing and meeting up with Mr. Ritter and another character in the fields, you kind of found a safe spot for the kids and began to poke around and see what's going on in the town. After a couple of subtle endeavors that ended poorly, you ended up fighting some more scarecrows and slicing a civilian into two pieces. Unfortunately.
And then we absolutely decimated some scarecrows at the end.
Yeah, and then as some more scarecrows followed you from behind, they emerged. You took them out, and as you were kind of rejoicing in your victory, you kind of heard like a cackle coming from the middle of the town, and you could see like a bunch of scarecrows that were in the street just like the life kind of drain out of them, and they just like just fall forward, motionless.
You gotta be kidding me, Roll20.
Well, that was unexpected. So are all the scarecrows seemingly lifeless now? At least all as we can see. This is
Disembodied spirits. That's a fun name.
disembodied spirits.
I haven't tested all these out yet. I'm just trying to see like if any of these fit.
So you said we don't see that the giant skeleton has gotten up, but we do see that all the skeletons have gone lifeless, right?
Scarecrows.
Giant
Giant
scarecrows.
skeleton would be very scary.
Yeah. Not
spooky
scarecrows.
Spooky
You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah, you haven't seen the monstrous thing that you saw earlier. It hasn't like risen up into the air or anything like that.
Right. As somebody who actually saw it, do I know that if it stood up, we would see it from where we were?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
The calm before the storm. I have a feeling there's other things on foot, trying to come at us. Something more important than the scarecrows.
Yes, I do not think we have to hide anymore.
I don't think we have the choice of hiding anymore.
We got the big problems.
Well, this sounds like a trap, but let's not disappoint them. Let's spring the trap.
Spring the trap. Oh. I suppose we do have a trap.
Well, their trap, not ours.
Oh.
They know we're here now.
Yeah. She knows we're here. She's already completed her ritual, whatever it was.
I have a feeling she's known we're here for a long time now. She's just waiting for us to make ourselves known.
Yep.
We did take our sweet time, didn't we?
I mean, we moved kind of fast.
move kind of fast, so we took at least 2 hours mucking around here. Well, at
Roman
least,
really
that's what I think.
slowed us
That's
down.
what I think happened anyway. Anyway, let's head towards the center of the city / town.
Wait.
Yes.
Do we really have to fight it?
I would assume so.
Are you suggesting we turn to and run? That doesn't sound like you.
I mean, we could take the kids, get them out of here, get them to another town.
Well, I would rather save some more people. I mean, if we get into a fight, chances are we're going to have at least one opportunity to still get away. Thinking
Well,
tactics
those
here.
children back there won't be helped if we're dead. If
See?
if we
This is a
pass
point.
away while we're out here, there's nowhere to protect them. And I'm sure those scarecrows will figure out where they are eventually.
This
I'd
is a
agree
really
with
good
that
point.
plump one.
But I think it's also a risk to leave all of this here and not try to cut it out of the roots. What if this
think
blight spreads
If we
to other
tell a bigger
towns?
city, they could probably help more than we could.
By the time they get here, it'll be a little too late, won't you think?
But they could
Well,
still
yeah.
get rid of the threat.
Assuming
I don't
still-
want to leave these people either, but if we die, who's going to warn everyone else about
Okay.
this?
Yeah, kind of assuming that we can make like the travel like how far away are these towns? Like 30 miles to Handel, like 60 miles to Volston. Like these are not short distances.
Yeah, and that's like cutting through the mountains, which is probably not super feasible. So you'd have to kind of like go around to Volstand.
Yeah.
Or
We really
Handel,
need
which
that
is
that
like,
message.
How far away is Boston?
I would say realistically, you guys can move like 3 to 4 hexes per day. So Volstand's like 2.5 days. Handel's like, a day and a little bit.
But Handel is probably not as equipped as Volston in terms of military.
Yeah.
So not exactly the most feasible of plans. We can't find any messaging birds. Actually, we haven't tried, but
I'm still for looking for a horse and cart at this.
well, we can try looking for a stable, but that might draw us into trouble.
We're already in trouble, honey. It couldn't hurt anymore.
Plus, all of the scarecrows are down, so.
Famous last words. I say as I try to look for the nearest stable, assume I know where I'm going. Oop. He lost connection.
It's Weiler.
His connection dropped. What on?
What are you doing? I mean, I'll take a stylish cap any day.
I'm just playing around with some of my tables that I forgot that I had.
Are we boring you, Dylan?
No.
He's just
I tabbed
basically
over
waiting
and
for us to get this-
I tabbed over and I was kind of like, oh, I forgot I had that, and then like I clicked on it a few times. I'm like, oh crap, that posted to like everybody's filling up the screen. Better stop that. I was just gonna roll on it a bunch of times.
Speaking of rolling, let me just I guess we can I guess I'm gonna roll investigation and try to find a stable.
Martha's going to roll investigation as well.
Okay. Just also keep
10.
in mind that every minute that you guys talk, that you're actually talking, I consider like 1 minute of like actual in-game time.
Well, shit. We don't find shit.
Yeah, I mean, you unless you're going more into the town, like on the outskirts of the town, it's still very dark. Like the large light source is coming from the middle of the town. So unless you guys like started, like if you guys used your light spells at this point, it might be a little easier to find something. But even then, you don't know the town like the back of your hand, and it's also like in the night. Some of the stuff has gotten ruined from the scuffle.
Oh, Martha has light spell. She'll cast it on her quarterstaff.
So we both have light. Great.
Sorry about that, I'm back.
No problem.
Internet cut out.
Anyone else need light? I still have light spell of my own, so
Yeah, I'll take a light.
sure.
Promise.
I
I'll,
don't
I'll
think
take
you
care of it. I'll take care of this, and I'll shoot off in the sky and try to find a stable from above.
You are glowing like a star right now. Just saying.
I mean, frankly, we're here, we're seen. We're either gonna fight this thing or we aren't.
Well,
I'm
I
not.
just assumed that they know we're here. I didn't know that they actually spotted us. But okay.
Is it Can I get advantage on investigation from being above?
I mean, you're glowing.
Sure. I mean, that makes
Just
sense.
watching
I mean,
this
what do you?
once.
Yeah, because you have light, so it's a little bit easier for you to see. And what are you looking for?
Just a barn, a stable, a wagon, maybe with some horses still hitched to it. Anything along
Oh yeah,
that
that's no problem.
those lines.
This is like a farming town, so like especially carts, no problem. You find a cart. You find plenty of carts. In terms
Okay.
of
Right.
like stables, it's not too difficult for you to find one. Again, there's like a
I can only.
most
Can,
people, especially like towards the outskirts of town, have beasts of burden and whatever.
can
You see
I
quite a few of them are like slain in their stables or like just like wigging the fuck out or like broke out of their stables.
can I take the time to hitch up maybe two horses to a wagon and I'll bring it around to everybody? I'll just however much time I guess that takes.
I can only imagine a picture of
Okay.
what Brom looks like right now in the sky, glowing like an angel.
The card doesn't take you too long. It only takes you maybe like 2 minutes when you're like actually flying around. You're like, okay, now that you have the light spell on, that's like abundance. But it takes you probably 5 or so minutes to find, a couple of horses, considering all the mayhem.
Okay. And I guess when I do find them out, I'll walk the cart uh, back to the group, or as close as I can to maybe where they can see or hear me, because I don't know how accessible for where we are a cart is. But yeah.
Um. Hmm.
I'd have a cart and a horse, horses.
Okay, we need to head over to packed up and leave as soon as possible. The sooner we can get to the other town, the sooner they can bring help.
Well, we don't know what the range of these things is. I assume once we get these people well on their way, they'll probably be safe the rest of the way to Volstand. Town is maintained.
You're sending off a group of kids and two adults on on 2.5 day trip to Volstyle with no supplies.
Well, I think the old man will have supplies. The older man has some supplies because he had
I
that.
mean,
Remember, he had that.
to be
He was
more than
like
just two
doomsday
days.
prepped. He was like doomsday prepped, so he had a bunch of that stuff
I
down.
mean,
He is a hermit that lives by himself. He doesn't
So,
have food for
I'm-
all of them.
I'm not saying we leave them or anything like that.
I said we go to Hondell.
Which is closer,
That's
but probably
big,
not.
That's an option, but yeah, that is an option. Be simpler to get to.
What?
We are taking a risk that by leaving, that whoever is in the center of town right now may not be there once we get back.
Which,
Well, they're probably going to die anyways if we die.
but
Alright.
if we leave and come back and they're not here, what do we do then?
Go back into the forest.
What if we leave and we come back and
It's
they're
what
all
the-
dead?
They'll still want to get rid of a menace like this that is killing people. They're not just going to say, oh, well, the town's dead. We might as well head all the way back. No, they're going to start and fight. And I just don't think we can do this. We have to get help.
And as you say, like, we have to get help. Like, it's almost like as you say the word help, you hear like a bunch of people screaming, and like one like guy in particular just screaming out in the night, help!
Oh, fuck.
And you just hear just like a literally just a cacophony of screaming coming from the center of town.
Look, as much as I like the idea of getting out of here and getting the children to a safer place, the fight is here right now.
And we're in no ways of fighting. Most of them are dead. I don't have any. I can't heal much anymore. I think I can heal maybe one more time before I'm all out of juice.
I did let you know
Okay.
you have. I think you have 3 spell slots at this point. I added them to your character, Martha.
Oh yeah,
So
I
out of
have a
character,
couple spell slots left.
I don't think I can. I don't think I can transfer spell slots to people.
4 spell slots, 3 level 2s and 1 level 1.
Boy. I don't think I can transfer my spell slots to Martha. That'd be fun.
Martha has 4 slots. I mean, it's mostly
Ready.
she didn't have any because she wasn't adding them as she leveled up, which I noticed the other day. Where I was like, she hasn't used any spells. How is she still out?
And also, we cannot forget here that we're most likely being observed, even if there's no scarecrows or anything around us.
We
don't
would
know
still
what,
have a better chance fleeing than
We don't-
staying and fighting.
we don't know what her power is. We could be ambushed trying to leave, for all we know.
How about
Then we'll
this?
Then we'll fight there.
Let's think of it. Who wants to stay and fight, and who wants to regroup?
I want to leave.
Quincy walks forward a few steps from the group, and he turns to you all. Well, then go ahead and leave. But I'm gonna
That's
stay
a
here
vote.
and fight for these people.
That's a vote to stay, obviously.
I'm with the Palorian.
Honestly, it's
Yeah.
best to take care of these problems now, even if we're so not prepared for this. But honestly, we might as well try. You never know.
Okay, but the first sign we can't fight this, we're leaving with those kids.
I fully support that.
Well, better. Well, at that point, we're probably just too busy running away to.
I support fleeing if we're totally incapable of doing
Outmatched,
this.
yes. But if we haven't tried yet, we don't flee.
All right. Well, we better hurry whatever we decide to do because those screams sound very urgent.
And also, if we were to leave, who's to say that they're not just going to build a ton more of these things and then come for us wherever we are?
Okay, let's go.
We
Quickly.
already won the vote. Quincy! I was going to ask Quincy, can you do something about these cuts? I need a little boost.
Oh yes,
Of
I
course.
could help. I could help. Who needs
I'll
the
let
most healing?
He
I'm full health.
Well, I think
I'm-
Quincy has a bunch
I'm
of
fine.
spells he's never used, so.
he doesn't have very many spell slots because he's a paladin. But I did mark down what he has, even from leveling. So he has, I believe, 15 points worth of lay on hands out of his 20.
Yeah.
So he'll give you, how many do you need?
That's a cure wounds as well.
He has uh, 2 slots
2.
remaining.
Yeah.
He could probably use cure wounds.
He could use
I-
cure
I'll-
wounds right now, or he could save it
I'll
for,
take the.
because he
take the
doesn't
lay-
have
Martha
very
has
many.
plenty of cure wounds for now, so.
I'll take the lay on hands right now.
Okay, he'll go ahead and give you because he wants to be able to pick somebody up. He'll go ahead and give you 10.
Mm-hmm.
10
That's
works for
practical.
me. I'll change his lay on hand. Oh, you already changed it. Okay.
Yep. I just know, like, and also the way that Ryan was playing him is he's very conservative with his spells, like he was saving it for the big
Yeah.
bad.
10.
I can cure wounds on someone if they need a healing.
I'm fine.
I'm fine.
I'll take it.
You need more? Goodness, all right.
The big one is definitely the healthiest of us.
Yeah, I'm a tank. I take a lot of fucking hits.
Okay, she'll use a level 2
But
cure wounds then.
those
Which is
hits
2d8, I believe.
Seems like me
you
and
probably don't need it at level. Or do you only have level 2 slot left?
Well,
oh,
better.
6 points of healing.
Oh, okay.
I don't plan on dying tonight, so I can
6
use one as
points.
well.
All right. Well, we're all healed up. We really need to get going if we're going to help these people. I'm pretty sure I can hear them dying.
Oh, that's my 4 health for me. Alright.
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
let's go.
the screams are they're constant.
Feeling rejuvenated,
So,
Throm is immediately gonna just shoot off.
all right, hold on just 1 second, because I'm gonna move you guys to a map.
and then Ragnar's barely
So-
even taken any damage so far, so there's no reason to quit now.
So, as you go through the town, like the closer you get to the middle of the town, like obviously the lighter and lighter things become, it's easy for you to see, and you can see this whatever this horrible figure is that Throm told you about. You can see it kind of when you come around the bend of one of the streets, and you can see at this point it's a full humanoid figure. It's almost like sitting down, like you know how you sit and you like hug your knees, kind of hunched over. That's kind of how it is right now, and just like has its head down, and it's just made of all various like it's almost like a giant wicker person, but it's not just like straw and stuff. It's made from, like, you see various like planks, and it's intertwined with like what seems to be like vines, and it's just like this weird monstrous mix of like scrap and druidic magic of some sort.
Do
I'm
we see the
I'm going
lady-
to go on a limb, dears. I think we need to burn that thing down.
And as you approach closer, you can see like the streets are just lined with these scarecrows. You see like a couple bodies of civilians that hadn't made it, and as you approach, you can obviously hear the screams getting louder and louder. And go ahead and make a perception check. I believe anybody who is proficient in perception, just because it's far away at this point.
proficient? I'm proficient.
I think my perception is pretty good.
I didn't say it was
Martha,
good, but it's definitely proficient.
So
if
Nick,
we were to,
Toasted. Oh, you do have perception, Throm? Or you do have perception, Throm?
Yeah, I'm proficient in perception.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, I was just gonna say, just because it's so far away, so you can see interweaved into this person, you see just like a bunch of people. You can just see like their upper torsos kind of hanging out and like reaching out, and they're screaming, and you can see going from like the bottom up, you see a couple of people like they're in a frozen stance and they're just like petrified. You see just like those horrible wooden masks that you saw on the wicker people before, covering some of the ones on the bottom. And as you're like, what the fuck is that? You see one person that's just screaming out like, help! As vines like start to intertwine into him, and he petrifies, and this mask kind of just like grows over his face.
Do they petrify in the sense of like turn to stone, or they just like get stiff?
They just like they just like get stiff. They don't turn to stone.
Okay.
I just turned to my friend and said, "No burning. There's still civilians in that thing.
And
Kind of
Martha,
sticking out of him."
not to say that the buildings are the concern here, but if we were to light that thing on fire, we would turn this town into a bonfire.
Oh
Not to
yeah,
mention, we'll burn anything inside there alive.
and you can see that where the light is coming from is the town hall, or this is directly like in front of the town hall, like right by the market square, is just like lit up. Like that is what's causing this flame. Is like, you know, probably the biggest structure in the whole town, and it's just lit up.
Martha's just hidden in the corner. She can't really see much, but what she does, she's shaking. We can't fight that. We can't fight that.
We didn't. I will say this: we do not have a lot of options for life preservation with this fight.
Hand me
Well,
Some
the
of those
oil
people
thrum.
may have to die.
the
Hand
longer
me
we
the oil
stand
thrum.
here,
We're taking care of this.
the longer that we stand here, the worse it'll be.
Hand me the
So,
oil
shall we
thrum. We're
use the
getting this
elements of
over. For
surprise?
fuck's sake.
I don't know if we have that, but we might as well try.
Hand me the oil thrum. We're finishing this now. Leah says sort of
I
just a stiff face, just not even.
I don't know if that's a good idea, considering the objective here.
I'll pass the oil
So-
to Leah.
And
Leah starts
just so
with
you
They
know,
have
so
to be
this is
done.
what you see. This is what you see going down the street. Like you're still approaching. You're not quite to the town center yet. It's just like this thing is so huge, and you guys, you know, had good perception checks so you could see it from far away. That's what you see.
Where did you?
In terms of feet, how far away are we?
In
Is it
terms
all
of
time, or is it-
feet, you're probably a good, oh geez, at least, let's see, a mile's what, 5,200 feet roughly? So you're probably about 1,000 feet away, which is roughly a quarter mile.
Did you
But
switch page, or am I looking
no,
at
I'm not
something
switching the page yet because the map that I have is the town square essentially.
Alright. What did you point to when you said this is what we see? Sorry. Or was you just describing it?
I was just saying that what I described, that's just what you see, but you haven't approached there. Like you're
Gotcha.
not right up against
I'm
this
just-
creature.
Gotcha. I'm ridiculous. That's all it is. Gotcha. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
No, it's fine.
Okay. I'll
Burning
pass
that
Leah
thing.
the oil that she asked for, that I had, that I was going to pour on the creature, but didn't.
Yeah, I just start heading over to the creature.
Burning that thing may not be the best thing to do, considering that there's a lot of people in there. Not sure if they're still alive, but people
Oh yeah, you
nonetheless.
see,
If that
there's
thing reanimates, there's no way we could fight it without burning it.
there are a lot of people entwined in this thing. You can see like probably up to its mid shin at this point. It's just encrusted in these like really well carved and kind of creepy wooden masks.
What holding them to the creature? Is it just vines that's holding them to the creature? Does it look like, or are
Yeah,
they
the
kind of like buried under rubble, or is it just the vines that are like kind of pasting them, tying them to the creature? Or what would you say?
little column A, little column B. It's
Okay.
the creature is made what appears to be like all manner of like scrap. Like there's like wooden planks, there's like um, uh, wheels, like cart wheels. There's like pieces of whatever the fuck, and then it's like intertwined into like this viney mass within. And all the people, like you can see, like some of them just have like their head or and like their arm, or just like a tiny portion of them is sticking out. The rest of them is just like constricted by this mass. And
And we don't see the lady in the wood, lady of the woods.
no, at this point, all you can see is that like you're just approaching the town square. You just see this giant
Gotcha.
creature.
Okay.
Quick question.
What's
Would
your
this giant creature be considered as a humanoid or a construct?
Definitely a construct.
Okay.
It's humanoid in shape for sure, but I mean it's not fleshy.
what's your say, Paladin?
Well, I don't know what the hell that thing is, but I'm gonna do my best to save these people. That's what I came here for.
Mm-hmm.
Don't waste your time. These people are already dead.
Tell
I
them.
hate to be the negative one, and I really have been this past day, but I think they're right. I think there's no way we could possibly help them with such a small party that we have.
This might be a long shot, but if we killed the Lady of the Woods, there's a chance that that large guy over there might just fall apart.
Is how are we going to attack her without having to deal with that massive thing getting us?
I'm
Hmm.
willing to work with the majority here.
All I'm saying is those people, as much as I want to help them, I don't think we can, and this sort of thing, this requires an army, not a small group of people.
Well,
Quincy
it's good to go
turns
for
to
the
you. Quincy turns to you, Martha, and he puts a hand on your shoulder and kind of gives you a warm smile. It is okay to cherish your life, and if flee is what you must do, then that's what you must do. But the Dawn Father has put me here, brought me here, for a larger purpose. I've come here to help these people, and that's what I'm going to do.
Leah's still
I
walking towards the creature, by the way. She's kind of... She's just set on doing this.
I agree with the Paladin here. This is the biggest challenge I've ever faced in my life, and it would be a shame to tear if I didn't at least try.
Besides, for Ragnar, it might look very good on his report if he managed to kill this thing.
That's
It might even earn him a promotion or two.
Again,
I'll,
just keep in
I'll
mind...
stay behind you, but if things get too bad, I have to go back to those children.
Again, just keep in mind, as this is happening, like, Leah is still walking towards the thing with the oil in hand.
We're still walking,
She's set
like
on
we're
doing
just
this.
discussing it
Right.
every now and then.
Yeah.
Like, we're still walking.
Brahm's gonna put his hand on Martha's other shoulder. Do not worry, I will protect you. Yes.
Does Martha still have a soft spot for Prom? Or is that
It's
over now?
slowly melting back, but slicing someone in two did sort of nick a couple points off his brownie point card.
He's completely oblivious to any of that. He just gives you like a pat on the back, like, ah, yes, like he just did the most noble thing in the world, and he's gonna catch up to Leah.
Trust me, I'm not willingly letting this thing kill me.
Well,
Martha just
So-
sort of shakily nods and stays behind everyone else, but she's still walking with them.
Okay.
At this point, Ragnar, just sword and shield, is at the near the front, just kind of getting ready to fight something.
All right, you guys. So, do you guys want to do anything before you actually get to the town square? You're just heading for the town square, or is there any sort of side ventures, or is this the moment?
Martha's making a cross on her chest. She's religious, and she's like, "Oh, please."
I'm just getting ready to support to like put this thing's attention off Leah as soon as she makes her attack run. with an out. Like I'm just like waiting up like spells and stuff.
I think this
Well,
is
cantrips.
the final step for right now. Final
I'm
stop.
just stretching and flexing. It's gonna give a prayer to Tiamat, and it's gonna
I
flex his
thought you're
chest.
over the Tiamat thing.
It's a story thing. You'll see. But yeah,
Yeah. We haven't been revealed to that yet, so.
yeah.
All right, so don't
That's
hate
it.
me, but the grid is not aligned on this map.
Oh god.
Son of a
Oh
bitch.
no.
But you could use
Oh
if you
no.
hold down Alt, you can release and put your character anywhere. So if you wanted to use the grids, we could just do it that way.
Shit,
That probably would be better. Yeah.
I do this from my phone. I don't have an alt button.
How do you play this through a phone?
I've been doing it for weeks now.
Amazing. Technology is amazing.
I sit in my car and I play.
All right. So as you approach the town square, it seems that all kind of goes quiet. And as you
I'm still looking
approach,
at the map.
yeah, okay, I know. Can you guys see, or at least
Yeah.
see a little bit?
Well,
Guys,
let me see if I can see. I mean,
Oh yeah, hold
and
on.
it's all black.
yeah.
Oh, no, there
Let
we go.
me.
Top left corner.
I'm just gonna change these tokens real quick because I forgot. I tried doing something where you can set the visibility to like 260 degrees or 160 degrees to mimic like
Yeah,
actually
basically what you did
looking.
with me.
But it just
Mhm.
kind of looks crappy with these style of tokens. If we had like an isometric style, it would look different.
Mhm.
Where you'd actually have to pivot the character, but it sounded good. I did it, and then I didn't like it. I tried it in the other session.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was a guinea pig when I was doing the whole walking through the city and trying to get the scarecrow onto his thing.
Sounds like my relationships.
No comments.
All right, if you just give me 1 second, I'm changing the visibility for you all.
Okay.
All righty.
Cool.
I see what you mean by it doesn't snap onto grid.
Yeah.
Yeah, Roll20 is an annoying thing. Like, if in this case I just decided to just disable the Roll20 grid and just use the one on the map. It just means you can have a bit more finer movement than snapping to the grid. That's what I did for doing that little dungeon catacombs thing.
Mhm.
All right, so
Think
now
as long as
everybody
it
should
doesn't-
be able to see.
I can see.
Yeah.
Yes, we're seeing at a very deserted and knackered market square.
Yep.
That would be because I didn't feel like drawing a big giant motherfucker.
So
So-
what we can assume is it like the giant motherfuckers are like there where I just picked.
Yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna plop like a scarecrow or construct, and I'm just gonna like make it so you can see how big this thing is.
Okay.
I should whistle to this microphone.
Okay. So anyway, so as you approach, I'm just gonna use a scarecrow image because we all like the scarecrow image.
Oh, good grief. Oh, that sounds
That's
pretty
a big boy. Oh, that's
Oh,
a
never
big
mind, that is-
boy.
Oh, we're fucked. All right.
All right, and like I said, this thing is kind of curled in, like grabbing at its like its knees.
It's like in a fetal position.
Yeah, it's into to its back, maybe like whatever, maybe a little bit more
Like a
than that.
newborn.
Is the town hall that's just like lit ablaze.
Just saying, but if it's that big, sure there's no way my firebolt can miss.
So
I think it goes without.
Miss it.
Martha is
If you're looking-
trembling at this point.
oh yeah, as you approach, you are met with just this horrifying, gargantuan um, mass, almost like a giant wickerman or a giant um, scarecrow or what have you. And you can see, now that you've gotten up, you can see up to like, I don't know, a third of the way into, maybe a third to half a way up its thigh. You can see that this creature is like scaled with all of these um, uh, petrified people as like these masks kind of go over it, and they fall silent. You can still see there's hundreds and hundreds of people in this thing intertwined, just screaming. They see you and they start screaming out for help.
Oh, looks as though these
Interesting.
guys are still alive.
Shit. Okay.
Hmm.
Leah
Something
bites her
for a
lip and
second.
continues approaching.
And hold on.
Martha somehow manages to not piss herself.
Guys, whatever you were planning on doing to this thing, you better do it now while there's still people alive.
Quincy steps forward and he's like, oh, by the Dawn Father. And he just like looks around and
Seriously?
he's just like, holy shit. And you can see he kind of like picks his shield up and he looks to you all. And he gives you a nod.
The gods in the old tales fought things like this, not mortal men.
Martha's
Okay.
good back here.
Yeah, like I said, Leah's
We
biting her
really
lip and
should
just
probably
looking.
step on it if we want to save these people. Like, they're still alive, not sure for how long.
I'll just be back here to give you a pat on the back if you need some healing. I don't think I could be any help right now.
Just insult the thing. That's what you're good at anyway. Come on, insult it.
You want the first attack to be?
Now, I'll throw an Eldritch Blast.
Are you?
Preferably at the ones that are already covered in masks. A 13.
Not yet, I hope. Oh, you shot it
Okay.
already?
Oh yeah, Eldritch Blast is more than enough to hit it. I'll give you guys can all have one round to do whatever. So, and you said you're aiming where with your Eldritch Blast?
At the people that are already covered in masks, so it's probably at the very bottom of the thing.
Oh yeah, you can see like your Eldritch Blast just blasts through this mask, and underneath is just like a weird like fleshy, viney mass. Like you can see it's like, you know, human flesh, right? Like a person, but just like vines growing up out of its mouth and out of its eye sockets as you blow away this mask.
They're
Yeah,
definitely not
Oh, they're
alive
dead.
anymore.
That's what I
Those
said.
ones are. The ones up top, not so much. Let's say the ones up top.
Leah makes it, like I said, Leah's biting her lip, so she makes. Since Nick Eldritch blasted it, Leah now makes a dash for it, which she can, like she was here, so that's 30 feet, so dashes make it.
Run its
And
legs.
And she, okay, so what's the blah blah blah, what's the, fuck, what's the word I'm looking for? What's the build like, sort of at its feet? Like, is it like a bunch of vines? Is it planks and shit, or is it?
Oh yeah, his whole build, if you will, he's just a bunch of planks and broken carts and intertwined mass of vine. Like the vines are kind of like what's holding everything together. It's like this thick brambly mess with all manner of things. Like some of it's wood, some of it's iron, some of it's, you know, it's like whatever was thrown in here.
Right. Would, fuck's sake. Would 50 feet of hempen rope be enough to sort of go around? Actually, no. It's a bunch of things sort of put together. So, would it be possible for me to sort of put this bucket on it and then tie it to the thing, like with some sort of, like to some of the shards or whatever that's sort of sticking out, or some sort of gap in the thing's construct that I could sort of tie a rope to, without having to go all around the leg?
No, because like you could intertwine it like with the vines. Like you wouldn't, because there's no way you wouldn't be able to tie it all the way around this thing's whole foot. Like this thing's fucking huge, but because of the way it's intertwined, you could tie it off on something.
Alright, so I'll put the lid of the. Does this bucket have a lid or anything like that, or is it just like wide open?
Yeah, it has a small, like thin metal
Okay, so
lid.
I'll put a lid to it, and I'll tie it onto its leg, and then I'll make a. Well, I've used dash, so I still have. If I use dash, do I have sort of the remaining distance left, or?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll make a dash back here then to 25 feet since I used. Fuck. There we go. I believe that's 25 from where I was. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, and like the last little bit of action, I'm just gonna turn to Nick and say, "Fire bolted."
I'm in the air. I'm in the air right now. So when this thing stands up, I want to be in its face. It's my plan.
Okay, so you can get like whatever 20. Oh, you can get 40 feet closer to it, right? Because you can, if you dash, you can use your.
Yeah.
You can do 2 times.
Although I don't really know exactly where 40 feet would be for this, but yeah.
Yeah, so you. It depends how high you're going, because like, if you're starting out like back here when everybody started taking their turns,
Oh,
you know, you can
by
get.
the way, just to clarify, right foot. Just so if it comes up later, it's the right foot that I put the bucket on.
Okay. You can probably get
What was
about
that?
halfway to its face right now, Throm.
Okay. I
Just
was
because
already in
it's
the air, so
yeah, just because it's
wherever.
like high and it's crouched down right now. It's like hugging its legs. It doesn't appear to be like really moving or anything. It's like just absorbing these people.
Where you ping it so I can just ping it where I would be.
It's fine. You just go like halfway between. Some of it is like lateral movement, but then you know there's also the third dimension here
Yeah.
because you're in the air. Quincy, he's just gonna use everything to just run up to this creature, and he's just gonna start like hacking and slashing at these people with the masks, trying to see if there's like any survivors. He's just like trying to peel the masks back and.
At this, I just shot to him and said, "Not the one with the mask. The ones without it are the ones still alive. The ones with the mask is already too far gone."
Yeah, there's probably like 15 feet high is where the.
Come on.
About 15 feet high is where the people are not masks anymore. From the front anyway, you're not sure exactly about the back. But it appears to be going from like bottom to top, like absorbing these people.
Okay.
Let's decapitate his legs. Maybe that'll help.
Ragnar steps up, and he's not going for looking for survivors like Quincy is, but he's going up to basically the same area, and he's just gonna start like hacking at the actual physical form of the leg, trying to find if there's some way to break it more easily than
Which leg are you guys at, though?
probably the one that she put the oil on. I don't know.
Well, that's a slight problem, isn't it?
Ragnar is
Okay.
going where Quincy's going.
Okay, Quincy just kind of went to. He saw them doing something at the right leg, so he went to the left leg, and he's just like,
Okay.
you know, just
So that's
again,
where
he's just
Ragnar
like
is.
peeling masks off, trying to see if there's any survivors.
And then Ragnar's just going for the physical form of the leg with his sword.
Okay, go ahead and roll an attack.
Wherever it seems most important connected.
Nice.
Oh wow!
You see like, you know, about halfway back, like ankle region, you can see a spot where it appears to be maybe weaker, and you start just like hacking at it and just breaking away some of this bramble. You can see that it's like the bramble's like ever so slowly like kind of curling in on itself.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't it doesn't instantly repair or anything, but there is some sort of active um, movement you notice. So Martha, is there anything you wish to do?
Sorry, I had a mouthful of crap. She's going to hang back and use her. She's going to use vicious mockery, and she's going to, I guess, direct it to the scarecrow
I think
and say,
you're too far away. Vicious Mockery is 60 feet, and you're like, good grief.
well, shoot.
25 feet? You might have to step up like 2 squares closer.
She does not want to move any further. She has her heels dug in the ground. So I guess she just stays back for now.
No, well.
All right. So, you hear a cackle. It appears to come from all directions.
Oh, that bitch.
And from the ether, kind of behind you and to the left. Um, hold on here. All right. At Eldrin, you hear her cackle as you see these 3 bolts of force just hit you. And
Ow.
you just hear her call out, naughty child, the bitch's vessel.
I'm on 8 health points now. Can't see where that came from.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Alright. 14.
Yeah, it you don't see her, but you see a small a slit kind of between these 2 houses. It appears to maybe have come from that direction, and or
Hang on.
from the rooftop, or from.
Damn it, she's out of range.
Yeah, you
I
don't
could
see
use
her.
Hellish Rebuke.
You don't see her form, but you just from that direction.
Well, okay, I'm not very well now, am I? Okay.
Could attack with disadvantage.
14 force damage is a lot.
Yeah. It's a really lucky magic missile.
Yeah, 2 of the rolls were 4.
Yeah.
3, 4, 4. They're all d4s. All right, and at this point, we're gonna go ahead and roll initiative.
Ow.
Okay.
Me on 8 health. Damn, okay.
Woo! Finally.
Inish.
I'm gonna roll Quincy's too.
Wow, I have the lowest Inish of all of us. A nat 1.
Honestly, looking at our characters in general, though, this initiative makes sense in general. Maybe not Throm's, but the assassin, the quickie guy goes first, the fucking tanks brawling in the front goes second, and then the mage in the back goes last.
This is the
Out of all of our initiatives, is
rolled that for initiative.
I'm also not heavily injured thanks to that magic missile.
Hey,
well,
Nick,
Martha's going to kiss it better in a second.
For once, Dylan actually wrote shit on his initiative.
Not shitter than mine, though.
Okay, so the what I'm calling the scrap golem is turn 0.
Turn 0, okay. So it's 0 initiative.
Just kind of sitting there and absorbing people. So let me go ahead and put this in the right order here. Okay. All right. So can you all see the order?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
All right. So whoever's in green, it's your go. Which in this case is
Yep.
Leah.
Little lady Leah.
Right. Did Thron give me both buckets of oil, or was it a one? Just so I'm aware.
I'll say I gave you one. I was going to use the other to dunk on top of its head.
Good. Yep, good. Yep, basically the same idea as me. Like two ways we're gonna use the oil, either above and below or two legs to immobilize it.
Yeah.
Well, the
Right.
legs even also affected right now, so.
Either way. Right, so if I had to make an estimate, like looking at it right now, how tall would you say this thing is? Like total?
It's like scrouched down, probably 20, 25 feet.
Okay. Okay, so it's I'm assuming it's like sitting on its ass and like it sort of just goes
Yeah.
up to its back that way.
Yeah.
Alright. Let me
It's
see
kind of
what
like
this one-
hunched over, almost fetal position. It seems, like I said,
Right.
to be inactive. It's just kind of like absorbing these people.
And is it facing us or is it facing like another direction?
Yes, it's facing you.
Okay, so its back would be here
Back
then.
against where the town hall is.
Got it. Let me see how far this would be. It's 45. That's 30. That's even outside dash range. Rip. Would its knees be close to it? It said it's got its head bent over towards its knees, right? So like it's in that fetal position.
15 to 20
So
feet in the air.
what's okay? So would its okay? Either way, would its head be touching its knees then?
Yes.
Okay.
Or close enough, because like the arms kind of wrap around the knees.
Yep. Got it. Let me see if I'm correct here. My cunning action allows me to use dash, just to make sure. Yep. Okay, so I shall use. So I shall use cunning action to dash here, because then I won't really be wasting any. If I dash towards it, would that count towards any of my movement, or would that be like a half thing? So does it not count, or does it just count half?
No, it's
Using dash?
however long.
It-
For
I can.
yeah, whatever the distance is to it, which I think you just said was like 20 feet or 25 feet or whatever it was, that number takes that much of your movement to get up to it, and then you'd have to climb another like 20 feet to get to the head. But you could
Yeah,
use straight movement because
Yeah, I
climbing
know, but
doesn't.
since yeah. But I was saying, like, since I'm using my cunning action to use dash, would that still count towards my movement, or would that not?
Oh, no, because you're using a separate thing. So you also have your movement. So you have your dash, which
Okay.
is 30. You have your regular movement, which is 60. So you
Right,
should
okay,
have more
so
than enough to
To
climb
get
all the
to
way
its
up.
head. Yeah, which is what I wanted to do, since I have the second story work. Which means which means climber doesn't actually take any extra movement.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Right, so I'm not gonna climb all the way to its head. I'm gonna climb to the top of its knee. So I'm gonna kind of okay. I'm gonna just imagine that its knee's like somewhere along there. And since I can kind of see most of it from here, I'm assuming. So can I do a perception check here to see if I can look for anything that sticks out, anything that looks different from the rest of the construct, anything that looks like it's built differently, anything that looks like it's more guarded or anything like that?
Yeah, you can do a quick perception check.
Oh,
Woo! Nice. Not quite a nat 20, but pretty high perception.
So you can see that for the most part it's pretty well guarded, like where you are, because as it's absorbing people, it's kind of making scale. You know what I mean? With these wooden masks. It's almost like creating an armor for itself of all these like horrible faces of these wooden masks. Beyond that, like you saw kind of towards the back of this creature a little bit, it's not quite so armored. It's more just like a mass of stuff, you know?
Right.
But as for anything that like particularly stands out, like, oh, this is a weak point, there's nothing in particular that's like, yeah, if we blow this thing up, like this whole thing's going down or anything like that. It seems to be pretty sturdy. I mean, it's a pretty large construct, but anything beyond where that like plating area is that's like encroaching up this creature. The non-plated area seems to definitely be weaker.
Right, got it. Okay. So then how high would you say the knee area? Actually, no, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter either way when we have to get down. Um, 30 feet. That would be about 6 times the height. Nah, no way. Does that go safely? Right. I guess I'll. Throm is in the air, so I'm gonna kind of gesture like that, like aim for it, like sort of point at it, and sort of like to a, you know, kill sign, like sort of head, kill, legs, no, sort of that towards Throm, and just sort of get into a ready stance. So I'm gonna have my rapier ready and everything else, and I'm just gonna be sort of ready to act.
Quick question. Since she's like up on the knees of this thing, can she have a better viewpoint of the surrounding area than spot the Lady of the Woods?
I've
That would
I've
have to
already
be
used my
next turn.
Yep, I've already used my perception, like to
Yeah.
sort of take a look at this thing from close detail. And I've
Oh.
also, on top of that, given Throm like some brief signaling, like to sort of see if he gets the idea what I'm trying to say, like aim for the head, not the legs.
Yeah. So you're still on the knee. You are not on like the head region. You didn't climb all the way up.
No, because if Throm plans to blow it up, I kind of don't want to be there. And
Blood of war.
I want to be within safe, disengaging distance of this thing. Because I could jump down, and I would probably, have to make some kind of save here, but at least it wouldn't kill me like at 30 feet. It might hurt or go prone, but I wouldn't die if I jump down from around the distance, and I could safely climb down, like if it doesn't go active next turn.
Okay. Martha, your go.
And I am in a reactive sort of stance, so she is like ready to react. Like she's not unaware, just sort of standing there. She is ready.
All right. Our dear Martha is going to go over to Eldrin. Did I get it right this time?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you did.
Yay!
Surprisingly.
Too many E names, okay? I get confused.
There's like one E name.
There
Evan,
was
sorry,
once
what was
two.
your
It
thinking for?
usually takes me a year to remember my teacher's name in school. Give me a break.
Fair enough.
Okay, use Cure Wounds on him. Level 1, because why not?
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Nice.
So now I'm back up to 18. Which is not as precarious as last time. Okay. Great. I'm now ready to take on the Lady of the Woods brunt of attack again. Good grief.
You can survive one
And
more max
Martha's
damage
gonna
rather
hide
easily.
behind him, still trembling, but still standing strong-ish.
You see, because you're kind of watching it already. Can you see her from here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. She steps out and hisses at you, Martha, as you heal him. Stay
Martha sticks
down.
out her tongue.
Stay down. As her voice goes from like that like higher pitch kind of like, obey your mother to like this more demonic kind of voice. And she uses her legendary action to hold on.
She's reacting. Okay.
She is, yes. She's going to cast magic missiles at you.
Oh boy.
That's fun.
That's the first
Maybe.
damage Martha's going to have taken this entire time, I think. For a while, at least.
Oh, well, that's not as painful as mine, but it's still painful.
Well, she's almost down to half now.
Bards have more health than well, no, actually they're the same. Never mind. Well, same hit dice.
There.
Now, this time, can I see where that came from?
Yes, you see her step out as she like actively is like, hissing and not being happy
Ooh.
about Martha healing you. And then it's Quincy's go. So you guys can control Quincy.
Okay. Would Quincy have known that she's there and was attacking Eldrin?
I don't think I made any noise when I was hit.
Well, there's
Yes,
like this like
like,
3
yelling at
magical
you.
beams shoot out from her 2 times.
And she's talking to them.
Yeah, I would say
Not to say that it's audible.
yes.
Okay. But Quincy probably would be more worried about the people in the Wickerman. I think I don't know. I'm not a good person to control Quincy.
I know Throm at one point said he was going to,
Yeah.
if he would rather. I don't have a preference. I just don't like running PCs if I can help it.
From.
Sure. Let's see. I do agree that Quincy would probably be more focused on trying to get people
Yeah.
down. I'll say
I
Quincy's
mean,
gonna work his way. Okay, I have a question about the position of the the people who are or who haven't been converted yet that we can see,
Yep.
who were like still screaming and whatnot. Okay, so with uh with him sitting down, kind of with his arms wrapped around his legs, are they more so on his torso, on his thighs, his face, arms? Where are they
You can see
about?
they've been petrified up to the point of like at this point, coming up not quite at his hip. Like a little bit past halfway thigh point.
on one leg or both?
On both.
Okay. And is that taller than me and Quincy are?
Yeah, that's probably like 10 feet in the air.
Feel like he would move around to kind of, the V where your abdomen and your hip bone kind of when you're like in a fetal position, where
Yep.
that V is that's closer to the ground.
Yep.
Uh, I'll, I'm gonna, because I think he heard them yell, "Don't go for the ones on the legs because they're already dead." So
Just
I'm
start
gonna have him.
hacking, trying to bisect the legs from the body, basically.
Actually,
At the abdomen.
or more so go for the people who are kind of at that cross point
Okay.
and see if he can cut out the ones who don't look like the ones on the legs.
Yeah.
Kind of
Okay.
at that low
That sounds
where
right.
that point is lowest at the ground at, kind of
So
there and work his way.
he'd have to kind of move either here or vice versa, or 180 of that
Yeah,
to get around to where like the creature's sitting, kind of like side hip area,
yeah,
in order to do
yeah.
that.
That's
And then
right
yeah,
there.
if he wishes, just go ahead and make a strength check.
Skill check. Nope. Go on. Ability check. Sure.
Okay, so that's more than enough. So you see this, I don't know, maybe like early 20s gentleman, just like he's like flailing. He just has like one shoulder and just like barely his head out. He's just like, help me, help me. And as you guys kind of lock arms, he's like, and after a few moments, you can hear like a couple of like snapping and like as some of these vines snap, and you just like rip him out. And you can see like he's covered in like small like scratches and like heavy bruising and whatnot, and he's just like as he kind of like picks himself up and gets to his feet. Thank you.
If you can, run. Yeah, run.
And he just immediately takes a dash, and he runs off northwards.
And that's about it. That'll be
Progress.
So yeah, that's it. That's what Quincy's gonna do.
Okay, Ragnar.
Okay, so
someone liked it.
the question that I asked about Quincy, like seeing Lady of the Woods, kind of goes for Ragnar too. So Ragnar, seeing that the party is being assailed, is going to start moving towards Lady of the Woods.
Yeah, and you can see like this area, because of everything going on, it's very well lit. Like there are some shadows because the way the flames are, but mostly it's pretty well lit. So there's not really as much of an
Okay,
issue.
I'm going to take my dash to get up like behind her, and then I am actually going to use. Hold on, let's see. I do have an action surge, so I'm going to use my action surge to actually take an attack.
Okay.
So I just run up behind her and slash at her back.
Ooh.
19 hits. So you can see she like moves like just very swiftly, like almost unnaturally. She like whips around, trying to dodge it, but you still catch maybe like an inch of flesh, like from her side, like under her, like her left shoulder, and she just kind of snickers and.
And that's her turn. Great.
So as you engage her, she turns to you and just looks at you dead in the eyes. And hold on here.
Ah, shit.
Oh, here we go again.
Uh,
Sorry. I did a shit ton of damage to her against the person.
No, she's not gonna use that. Hold on, because that's a ranged spell to actually have disadvantage, but she would know that she has disadvantage. Okay, well this is what she's gonna do. She is going to, yep, that's what she's gonna do. She's going to use Vicious Mockery, and her own version of Vicious Mockery on you. Children should listen to their mothers, you worm. And as she says that, you can just feel the fae, feel like just that natural magic emitting from her. Go ahead and make a Wisdom saving throw. Should I?
DC 0?
Oh, that's. Hold on, it's messed up. Her DC should be. Hold on, I believe it's 14.
So that's just enough.
I'm checking real
Yeah,
quick.
I'm pretty sure Vicious Mockery, it's like average 14.
It
At least most of the times
depends
I've
on the.
seen it.
It depends on the spell casting modifier.
Obviously, yeah, but most of the Vicious Mockeries I've seen have been 14 DC. Just stat-wise, average.
What the F? It should have it here. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, DC 14. Okay, so you just made it, so it doesn't affect you.
You just shrug it off.
Otherwise, I got a disadvantage, right?
Correct.
Okay.
And as she sees it doesn't take hold, she kind of like, "Argh," and she actually backs off down here.
Then she will be attacked by.
Yep, she'll be willing to take that risk.
I am no child, and you are not my mother.
Ah!
Oh, sweet. Okay. Okay.
Fine.
Nice.
Cool.
All right, Eldrin, your go.
Let's see. I shall move there-ish.
Keep in mind that would block your line of sight with her if
Yep.
you move.
This is like a tent there.
Oh, right. Well, I need to find like a nice spot that is not. Hang on, where else would that be? Like, would that,
Yeah.
where I'm pointing still be?
Yeah.
You know,
You would have line of sight. I'm pretty sure there.
should, yeah.
Just right now, you're like right behind the fucking tent. So yeah, that should be fine, right?
I'll just chuck one at her.
Okay. Wow, those
Not
rolls.
bad.
Okay.
I was rolling shit the other day because of Firebolt. I'm like, nah, not
You,
again.
you still haven't done a firebolt yet, so don't get your hopes up.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not confident. Just use Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
Eat force damage.
All right. So, she's gonna go ahead and, as her legendary action, she's gonna go ahead and. Okay, so she's gonna summon 4 Wickermen of these like viney blight creatures, and then Throm, you can go. It's gonna take me a second. I just gotta plop them down.
Throm is conflicted because I'm sure by now he's seen the Lady of the Woods, and he definitely wants her dead. But he also needs to burn this thing. So I'm gonna do this for myself. He goes for the Lady of the Woods. Lady goes for the 25. Okay.
What? Oh my god. Oh.
Yeah, I used the D100 to make that decision.
I'm not
He's
concerned about the
gonna-
guys surrounding me.
No, he's going to continue towards the construct. Ah, damn it! And it's going to. I can fucking move on. There we go. And it's going. I don't know. It's going to like pour the oil on its head. I'm not exactly sure where its head is right now. How far I need to be to do that? If I can.
You have to climb.
Probably
Well, I'm
Uh,
flying.
he
he
so.
can fly.
Grom fly. Throm flies. Yeah,
Oh,
I would
there,
say
down
you
there.
could do that with like a wide, like you swing it back and you splash it on.
Just and actually, I'll just chuck the jar at his head and like break the oil over it. So,
Yeah, well, what I'm saying is because it's in like a bucket, it has a small handle. That's why I'm saying if you just kind of like swing your arm back and like thrust forward, you know what I mean? You could just like splash it out.
yeah. I don't know why I'm imagining this in like some type of Mesopotamian type clay jar. They pour the oil and I don't know why I'm imagining it like that. It's just a bucket. So yeah, I'll do that. And
What? Hello, turn order.
I think you're just adding the Wickerman.
Yeah,
that's it.
Oh.
thematically they're Wickerman, but they have the stats of a Twig Blight. Okay, so yeah, no problem. There's no attack roll or whatever. This thing's fucking huge. You just like splash it all over its scalp, and you can see like some of the hands that are reaching out. Like there are people over every inch of this thing, including its head. So like you drench some people in this oil.
Some people just like to watch the world burn.
Essentially, we'll see.
Some Dragonborn just like to watch people burn.
Yeah. And that's my turn.
Okay, these Twig Blights, I'm having them all act on the same turn because otherwise it's BS. They're all gonna make attacks at you, Eldrin.
Yeah.
As the
Okay.
Lady of the Wood does not like you very much. So I'm gonna
I imagine.
4
I
claws
get
at
it.
you. Actually,
Well,
hold on. She's gonna do this so they all get flanking as well, because she would have done that.
Nice.
Lady of the Woods that does what?
Miss.
Yeah.
Hit.
Okay. So yeah, you go ahead and take 7 piercing damage.
Right. So, give me a moment. 7 piercing damage. There we go. I would also like to take one of my reactions to use my Hellish Rebuke.
You got it, buddy. Do it.
I just clicked it.
Is it
DC 13.
oh, it's
let's
half
say.
damage? Okay, that
Yeah.
instantly destroys. So which one?
The first one that hit me, so I'm not sure which one.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. It's your choice.
I'll just go with the one in front of me. I just assume that one hit me.
All right.
So that goes on my spell slots, but it's fine. Those things are like money to me.
All right. So
Great.
turn 0. So this big like wooden scrap golem. You can see the like the people absorbing. The screams just like get cut short. Like they're as it like a wave kind of like goes up, and now at this point it's almost not quite to the belly button, but you can see like it started to scale itself up its back as well, a slight bit. So some of the other people that you may have been able to save at this lower level, there might be like one or two just barely like really reaching up, but you can see this is an active, like it's absorbing these people. Leah, go.
Right. Oh yeah, where? So the town hall is behind the thing. Up to where does sort of the fire reach? Like where sort of the scarecrow? Or
Behind the scarecrow, the fight
behind the golem.
probably like I would say just barely like the edge of this map, like maybe 50 or whatever feet away. I don't know how much that is off the top of my head.
Right. Okay. Okay. So I am going to climb over the shoulder of this scarab thing here. I'm gonna hit the shoulder, since the head is drenched in oil. Don't want to stay there.
Okay, so if you're climbing, because I'm gonna relate this to you in number of feet, so you know how much movement you have. So you don't negate movement because of your climb stuff, but it takes about 10 feet to climb up to the top of the shoulders.
Got it. And the shoulders are how far to the ground? Sort of.
About 20 feet. They're about in line with the head, just about 20 feet off the ground.
Okay, so then that'll sort of put me right behind the thun.
So
And
I wouldn't say behind it. I would say because you had to climb straight up, right? So you're probably like right here. In this portrait, you're about where its actual shoulder is on the portrait, but you're elevated.
Yeah, so I climbed down off its back now, so into the shoulder, and then I climbed over into its back. Down to its back.
So 1, 2,
That's kind of the idea.
5, 6. So that's probably like another 30. I would say you'd probably have to burn your bonus dash if you wanted to get on the ground like behind it.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Just because like again, like this thing is huge.
Yeah.
I would almost consider this difficult terrain just because it's like, but considering like you're not bogged down by climbing, I would say no.
Also, if it's vines and like that, Leah would have some sort of affinity with that, just from growing up in the forest and all that. So she would decide what is better for what's better for ripping and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so yeah, behind us, so having to use my bonus zoom and everything, yeah, honestly, that doesn't really much involve, so...
You still have an action. I would just, because you do need that extra movement too. Yeah.
Don't really think I can do anything particular though that I'd want.
As you pass by, because you're going down the back of this thing, hands are like coming up. They're trying to grab at you. They're like, "Help! Help!"
If anybody grabs me, I am stabbing them with my rapier, just so you know.
Okay. a lot of
It
people
does
grab
not,
you.
like,
There are literally hundreds of people, and they are grabbing out in desperation to you. So you can stab as many as you'd like.
Stab, 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 stab.
Well, I'd say, I
I'm
mean,
just saying.
you could stab like one. I'd say.
It's not like a big, like, it's just literally like sort of a fuck off thing, you know? Like, Leah does not value these people's lives, like, she does not. What she cares about is survival and getting rid of this thing.
Okay.
If the others find a way to save them, so be it, but for Leah, she does not give a fuck about the people in there. Again, playing from character.
All right, Martha.
Sorry, the rice on my stove was overboiling. All right, she's going to
Vicious
move
holograms.
here, and she's going to point at this nasty, nasty witch and say, I know mothers, and you are no mother.
That's insult. Ooh.
Nice.
All right.
Check.
AC 13 wisdom save.
If there's actually words of it
Probably
laughing.
gonna be relatively easy for her. I don't know what her spellcasting modifier
No,
is.
she actually rolled pretty low for her. So she got
Oh,
a
wow.
12. So yeah, she snickers at you.
Now she has disadvantage against Martha.
Doesn't she have disadvantage in general
Is it?
on anything that she has to roll for?
Actually, hold on. Anything magical she has advantage on. Not that I don't know if I should have told you that, but now you know. So actually, she did make it. Sorry, I almost forgot about that.
Right.
Aw, I was
Oh,
going to do a cool thing.
Now I'm gonna be clawed to death by these white twig blights. Bleh. Look at
Sorry, buddy. I tried to heal you.
Well, hey, I'll just disengage.
All right, Quincy, your
Well,
go.
if you live past the lady that would.
All right. Quincy is just
Next person to save.
pretty much.
Uh,
He's fanatically trying to save people. So he's gonna pull the closest next person that he could. But he
Okay.
says working his way to his belly button. So if he needs to maybe
Yeah.
hop inside the hip fee and grab the next person, he will.
Yeah.
I'll move him on to his body.
Yeah.
Strength, do another strength check.
Yeah. Just do another strength check.
Damn, Quincy.
Yeah. So you pull and you can see this young woman. She's just like, pull harder, get me out of here. And Quincy just kind of like spends his turn, just like pulling in to no avail.
damn, they hold them tight. Okay.
Alright. Try to make sure he doesn't. Alright, that's it.
All right. So the Lady of the Wood, as her reaction here, it doesn't come to her turn, so she doesn't have that recharge. So she's just gonna go ahead and she's just gonna use her claws at you, Ragnar.
Nice.
That sounds right. Alright, that does hit, definitely.
Ooh, Snake Eyes on the damage.
Alright,
Damn.
so let's see.
What bonuses does she have?
I'm just going to take the attack. Actually, let's see. Hold on. There's not many weapons. That won't work. Alright, I'm gonna do my lunging attack, even though the distancing is not a problem. I'm gonna just do it for the extra damage. So, what is the die for my superiority die right now?
It should be
Isn't
a
it like a d6?
D6. It should be a D6
Okay,
at this
so
level.
let's roll 1d6 extra damage on the attack if it hits. I think one. If you hit, is okay. I just rolled the die before I did the attack. So I'm dumb.
Right. Unfortunately, a 15 does not hit.
So with that maneuver, would I still lose the superiority die, or is it
You,
just an if it hits thing?
you'd have to read it.
Yeah, I'm trying
I'll,
to figure that out right now.
hold
When
on.
you make
Did
a
you
melee
copy and
attack on your
paste the
turn, you can
exact
expend
thing?
one superior. Yes.
Okay.
Superiority die, reduce your breach for that attack by 5 feet. If you hit, you add the superiority die to the damage. I don't
English.
think it doesn't really say anything about that here.
It said if you hit, you had a superiority die.
Yeah, you rolled your superiority die before you hit, so
Yes.
Yeah. Essentially, what you're doing is you're expending that superiority to give yourself the range for the lunge.
Yeah, I know.
So
I
that's
was
why
just
you
doing it for
use
the
it ahead of
damage.
time. Yeah, you also get damage, which is good too if you hit, but it's mostly so you
Yeah.
get that range. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So she's gonna go ahead and she's going to use her claws at you again. Whoa. Good thing.
I don't think
16.
that hits.
16 does not hit.
Thank God. That was fine.
Thank
18.
God, that was some
Ooh.
fucking nasty damage. Okay, so she's gonna go ahead and use bonus action to Misty Step.
Of course she is.
Please come towards me.
Can any of you guys see her at this point?
No.
I don't think.
No.
Yeah. Throm can see her.
Oh.
I'll let you know if Throm asks, but she's gonna see if her things recharge. Nope. Okay. And that's her go. And then Eldrin, it's your go.
Well, no sense getting myself killed over these Wickermen. I'm gonna disengage. Let's go back here again. I think that's all I can do because I spent the whole turn disengaging.
Yeah, you have so yeah, as the action
Well, I still have a
disengage.
bonus action.
No,
I still have a
bonus.
bonus
It's
action.
if you're a rogue. If you're a rogue, you have bonus action disengage.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
need to,
that leaves my whole turn.
that-
Just
that-
disengaging.
Yeah, you need my cunning action to do that, Nick.
Just my luck that that she has a vendetta on me.
Well, I mean, you have the Tanya.
Yeah, well.
What I made? Thrum. Okay. Wait, is it my turn? I don't know. It's not on me yet.
It's so that if it's your go, yeah. If that was it, Eldrin, yeah. Throm, it's your go.
There's nothing else I can do. Oh, God.
Shit. Alright. Thrum is going to reach in his pack, and he's going to grab his tinderbox, and he's going to light the head on fire.
Okay. Yeah, I would say I would say take your action, because
Yeah.
you fly up close and you're like trying to light it. But yeah, no problem. You see as flames like lick all the way down, like the first half of its head, or like kind of like curl around, starting to go to the back. And you can just see as people just start screaming in agony, the people that are caught in the top of its head. And at this point, like you can see, like the screens are just erupting at this point as like people are like turning their heads to see like what the fuck's going on up there, and they can just see like the flames like ever so slowly starting to encroach.
Unnecessary evil, unfortunately.
May your gods save your souls.
We're about to
And
commit mass genocide.
no,
Not
I'm about to
genocide.
commit mass genocide. I'll take the blame for that. I honestly, if I rolled lower on that D100, I was just gonna chase the Lady of the Woods without setting it on fire. But yeah,
Well,
let the
if you
dice.
did, if you did, and I would have next turn anyway. So
Yeah, so I'll take that evil, and
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
use my movement to back away from.
I think he
And
just lost a lot more brownie points.
yeah,
Okay.
I'll from since I can still see the Lady of the Woods, so I'll now turn my focus towards her and start moving in her direction.
Okay.
Whoever she is.
So
Her,
just make a quick perception check. Because I mean, you were like doing all that, just to see if you whip around and if you can actually catch her when you're looking for her.
all right. Uh-oh. There we go.
Oh yeah, no problem. You can see she's right here. She's like on the other side of the house. She's on the roof.
Well, that's fun.
I'll Throm those out of you down. So let's just try to.
Yeah. Just gonna
So
point and yell, "I'm coming for you!" And that's my turn.
all right.
And here comes the wicker.
So this worker person comes over here. Is going to claw at Martha.
Does it hit?
Let me hit. I'm pretty sure it does.
Yeah, it says your AC is 10, which is really low.
Wow.
You
I
don't have
forgot
any
about
armor.
that.
Any armor whatsoever. You don't even have leather armor.
She could have had leather armor if she's a bard, but I don't know if she picked it.
It wouldn't have affected it. It still would only be 11, but
That's also true.
Okay, that's 4 damage then?
yep.
Where the hell is your armor?
Damn, those wickermen must have dashed, because that's not in their movement.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
They can move as far as you did.
Oh, wow, okay. I thought they were slow.
So
The first one doesn't hit, the second one does.
all right. So you take
Of course,
4.
the second one that is more damaging hits me.
And scrap golem, you can see as it begins to move ever so slightly, but you can see probably about up to like where the under boob is on a person, whatever you call that. That's where like the scales are starting to raise as this thing is like it almost appears like it's accelerating at this point. And you can see like the hand is starting to like twitch and kind of like almost like scratch at itself, like it's like slowly trying to reach towards its head where it's burning. All right, and the flames encroach just a tiny bit, but a lot of this stuff, like I said, like there is steel, there is like flesh and what looks to be like fresh vine on the surface. So you can see some of this stuff is starting to catch underneath, but it hasn't erupted in a huge fire yet. Leah, your go.
so that's my turn. Yep. Let me see. So move down to 3 feet. Okay. Can I see his? No, he hasn't. It has he? Hello? Hello? Okay, whatever. If you're speaking there and we can't hear you, just say that.
I'm not.
Okay. No, because like it went really quiet all of a sudden. I'm like, the fuck, disconnected. Right, so I was gonna go back there to actually light an arrow on fire and shoot him in the head, but Throm already took care of that a little bit for me.
Mhm.
Okay, it's starting to move. It's scratching at itself with its.
Yeah, it's beginning to. It doesn't seem to be fully animated at this point. It's just like ever so slightly like starting to scratch at like its neck and like slowly work its way up to like it's trying to grab towards its head. But it's like very slow and not completely animated at this point.
All right, well. Okay, 20, 40, 60. I could just barely make it. That's awesome. Nice. So I'll use dash to go around it with my cunning action. And
Okay.
now I will use a few items on my bag here in Unity. I still have that little bit of string that was left over from when we did that little thing in the first episode. If you remember, cut my 10 feet of string, but like I still have some of it left over, only around a feet or two left over,
I would
which
say
isn't
sure,
much,
yeah.
but for what I need, it's plenty. So what I'll do is I'll open the lid of the bucket that I'm in front of now, since I put it on its foot, and I will dip just the tip of the string on oil. I'll feed and then I'll put the other end of the string onto the bucket, if that makes sense. So the bit that I dipped is outside, the bit that isn't dipped I put into the bucket just so it hits the oil.
Okay.
I'll close the lid, not firmly, like just loose enough so it holds the string in place, and I shall use my Actually, no, I shouldn't do that because I don't have any movement left. So if that thing goes up in flames, I'm fucked. I use dash. Actually, I use dash. So would I still have some movement left, like my regular movement? I use
Yes.
a dash from the cunning action.
I think so.
You were what, all the way on the other side of it, right? So one.
Yeah, I used my cunning action to. I was like here, so that would be 20, 40.
60 feet of dash.
12.
Yeah,
So
I
I
use
mean,
60.
you've wait 60 feet. How do you get 60
Yeah,
feet?
I used my cunning action to dash.
3, 4, 5, 6.
It's like from here you have 20, 40.
So he uses
60.
bonus action to dash.
So 5. So you have like one foot of movement, I would say, to go all the way around the perimeter of that. You were right here, right on the square.
I was like here, yeah, I was like there at the back of it. So if I do that, it's 20, 40, and then another 20. So that's my cunning actions dash, which will be 60 feet.
Yeah, I don't know. Your movement is 30 feet, so with 2 movements you get 60 feet, which is 12.
With cunning,
spaces.
dashing with cunning action, I get 60.
Correct. Total. You get 30 and 30.
No, dash is doubled at your speed, isn't it?
No. Dash is normal. Dash is whatever your movement is. Your movement is 30 spaces normally. When you dash, you just get an additional 30. It's like just having one more movement.
So, but you still have your action right now.
Yes, so you have your action, but you used up all your movement to get over to this space.
Right.
You could potentially use your action to dash as well. I'm not sure if you'd allow that, but
Yeah, you can do that. That's fine. But but wait, like if using things, did you say that's your free action to use items, or was it your bonus action?
I used bonus action to get enough movement to actually go all the way over there, and then I'm using my action to sort of set up this little sort of explosive thing.
All right, 10-4.
Right. So could I potentially ask Throm, like try to get his attention to fly me away, if I get this little thing going?
Are you asking the DM or are you asking me?
I'm asking if the DM would allow that because.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's because I would say it's gonna take you a few seconds to set it up, and if that was your plan, you could while you're setting up, you'd be like, "Hey, I'm gonna set this thing up and take me away," or whatever.
Yeah,
like you could do that simultaneously.
When I light the fuse, take me the hell out of here. So would Thrawn be able to see that? Or hear that, rather?
I'll leave it up to the D100.
Yeah.
My
Well,
turn.
I mean, I thought didn't Throm say he was flying towards the Lady of the Wood, or was he not?
He was. I wasn't exactly sure how much I was
Oh, okay,
on
but no,
top of the token
You're
and how
20.
far away I was.
You were 20 feet in the air because
Yeah.
you were at its head level and you lit the fire.
Yeah.
And then you have 20 feet of movement, so you could have either gone straight down 20 to be at its feet, or you could have flown like outwards towards here, 20 feet in the air, and like towards the Lady of the Wood.
Then yeah, I would have moved over here.
Oh, okay, then never mind on that
Okay.
idea.
Yeah, that was my bad. I didn't realize
No,
how
no,
far away I should have moved. Or
no problem, no problem. Alright.
I would still say it's not that far. You could still shout to Throm.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't make a difference now, because then if I light it up, he wouldn't have enough movement left to get to me, and I'd have to wait until next turn. Unless you're saying that... Okay, so... I... So in game time here, so you said one turn is... So one full rotation is 6 seconds, you say?
About, yeah.
Okay, so... How much rope would you say I had after that little thing then? How much of the string would you say I have?
You used it all up, buddy. It's not like
No,
thick.
no.
Yeah.
I mean, like what I'm using here. How thick would you say this is? Like after we used the thing in the first session.
Oh,
You gave me like
not much. A couple feet, maybe.
Okay, so like maybe 2-3 feet.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I dipped the tip in oil, like I said, to sort of make sure that like gets lit. Would you say that takes longer than 6 seconds, which would give me just enough time to light it, and then my next turn make a dash for it, or would you say it would just sort of blow up midway?
Oh, when you light it, yeah, I would say
Yeah.
at this point, because you set it, right? You took out your thing, you set it. I would say sure. I'll let you also attempt to light it. Yeah, yeah, you can light it.
No, I'm saying like
But
if I light it,
how
would
long
it
it
sort
would
of just go up
take?
instantly?
I mean,
Yeah, like
you're not
it-
entirely sure. It also depends on how much you had it in there because you only have a few feet, right? And depending on where
Yeah,
you
so I
hung
have-
this object, right, it might be suspending in the air as opposed to like laying on the ground like a stick of dynamite.
Oh, I have it sort of curled up on top of the lid.
Right. I just meant where the bucket itself is hanging.
Oh, the bucket.
'Cause you
The bucket is
secured-
on the thing's feet.
Yeah.
So if its feet is on the ground, like it's a pretty flat thing.
Okay. But yeah, if you were to light it, you're not entirely sure how long it would take. Like just being honest, like you're lighting like a little piece of twine. It's not like a wick. It's not like you're not entirely sure. You can light it. I will let you light it. I'm just saying you're not entirely sure how long it's gonna take for that to progress up. It's not unless if you dipped the whole string in oil.
Oh no, it's just a tip to make sure that it actually catches fire.
Yeah.
I won't light it on fire. I'm just going to. So my turn is going to be moving onto the feet and having the little thing ready to go, and then the next turn I'll try to do something with it.
Okay.
It's too much of a risk because it's literally like a full bucket, like you said, like nearly fucking a gallon or so of oil. If that goes up at once, that's gonna.
The gallon was between the two, so you have like half a gallon.
It's still though like a fucking big sort of massive oil. It's not like it's spread along the thing. It's like a big mass. That thing.
Yeah.
Also, I have the lid on. I also have the lid on, so that sort of gaseous oil is also still there. So
I think about 6 inches in diameter, maybe like 3 or 4 inches tall or whatever. That's the actual volume of liquid that's in the bucket.
That would still cause like a small sort of explosion, which wouldn't be fun to be next to. So yeah, that's my turn.
All right.
And with that, I can finally get rid of that bloody string that's been in my backpack.
Martha. Martha, your go.
Alrighty. This is not looking good, but she's going to try and fight this little blight here. That's
Okay.
all she really can do at the time.
10-4. That's enough to hit it. You destroy it.
Hooray!
Yeah, these things aren't super strong, so.
She did something. It's a miracle.
I just imagine as you very lightly whacks it in the head with the quarterstaff and it just falls to pieces.
I sort of imagined her hitting it like a base at generic. Ah! Home run! Alright, as her bonus action, Eldrin over there is looking pretty worse for wear, I think.
7 health, yeah.
She's going to cast. Wait, can you cast Healing Word on level 2?
Yeah, you can. Pretty sure
Yeah,
you can.
okay. I just wanted to double check. I'll do
So that's
that.
2D. That's 2d4 of healing.
It'll
Better
ask
than
you what
nothing.
level you want to do it at when you hit the spell. You can just hit level 2. So
Oh.
I
10.
have one spell slot left, boys.
So yep, that's 10 points of healing.
17 hit points now. Yay!
All right, the Lady of the Wood is gonna go ahead and use her legendary reaction here. Legendary action. She's just gonna go ahead and she's just gonna peek over the side. You can see Throm as she kind of like on all fours, like creepily goes over and like the apex of this roof and like goes down the other side.
Okay.
Well, that's nice.
And then it's Quincy's go, unless Martha, you also have a movement if you wanted to approach or move or do whatever.
I think she's good where she is, honestly.
Okay.
Alrighty. Because she's on low health. She's not going to be any use if she's dead.
Quincy.
I mean, the worms might like her. All right, so, is the person was he trying to take out? She hasn't been taken over yet, has she? The lady he was trying to pull out.
You can see she is starting to, like she hasn't completely, like you can see the vines are starting to encroach on her. I would say the DC of the pull would be slightly higher because she's more encroached, but she's not dead yet.
Okay, then he's gonna.
Ooh!
Oh yeah, no problem.
Nice.
As she's like, help, help, as Quincy, even from last turn, like he just has like his foot on the base of this thing and he's just like pulling and pulling. He's like, ugh! And you can see as his holy symbol just starts to flare a little bit. It's like a signet ring, and it just like as it's almost like a small divine burst as this young woman just comes like ripping out of this thing, and her and Quincy kind of like tumble to the ground.
Okay.
Second person saved.
Yeah.
2 saved,
gonna-
50 killed.
Pretty much. I'm just gonna help her up, and if you can run, run. And he's gonna look back at the creature. Does there look to be anybody else that he can reach quickly?
Quickly, probably not without like trying to climb up this thing.
Okay. Well, what? All right. So, what does Quincy see as he turns and looks back at the construct, the thing?
You can see kind of like a small gaping hole, kind of like where he pulled out this young woman, and the young woman's kind of like toppled, just like on top of him and just like shaking. And he looks up and sees just like the scalp of this thing, literally just like frying the people that are up there as they're screaming in agony. And you can see all up its torso, there's just like literally just hundreds of people that are entwined that are just screaming out for help.
Damn it, Quincy had to be a paladin. All right. So he's gonna move the lady out from him, and he's gonna run and and it's gonna start climbing back and try to grab another person, which he won't be able to do until next turn, but he will use his movement
Okay.
to
Yeah, that's
get
fine.
there.
I mean, this just being like what it is, you can just keep him on the outer perimeter, just to
Yeah.
make him easier to move. But I'll say, yeah, he using up all of his movement. He climbs up to a spot that he could pull somebody up from.
Okay.
And then like next turn, you could attempt to pull.
All right.
All right, Ragnar.
Okay, because the things Throm has said and stuff like that, would Ragnar have any
Fragnar.
inkling of where the Lady of the Woods is right now?
He's headed towards. I mean, he's flying in the air and he's headed towards like this direction.
And also, Throm did
You
say
can see-
something when he noticed her.
He just said, lady, I'm coming for you," or something like that. He didn't say like, "Look, there she is in that exact location on the roof
Yeah.
over there." So,
Yeah.
especially from ground level, you can't see up there. You're not
Mhm.
really sure, where she is from here. As far as you know,
Okay.
she just like clawed at you, missed, and then like sneered at you and like kind of bamfed.
Then I think Ragnar would seeing that threat currently extinguished, is going to run over to the Wickerman and just use his whole movement to basically start doing the same thing that Quincy is doing.
Okay, he would have to hold on. So where were you? Just so I know.
I was like right around here.
I think it was here.
Hold on.
This
Yeah,
space
right
right
there.
here. Because you're cornering her in the alleyway. So 1,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5.
That's
So-
45 there. He's using his whole action, whole movement just to get
Yeah.
there and start trying to help.
So 25 minus 60, yeah. So you got 35 left. So yeah, no problem. You have enough movement. You climb all the way up to a spot where you'd be able to pull somebody out.
Not this turn though.
Not this turn, like next turn, because you have to use your action to
Yep.
get that extra movement to climb up.
Yep. Okay.
So on her go, the Lady of the Wood doesn't say anything. She just Throm, you can see as she points to Martha.
Oh, good grief.
Well, she's down.
Bye
As-
bye.
As hold on, let's see if her things recharge. Nope. Okay, so you can see Throm as she just like spider crawls kind of over the apex of this roof onto the other side, and she just gives like a wicked smile as she reaches out towards Martha and sends off 3 bolts of arcane energy, like hits Martha right in the back, and you can see as Martha kind of like falls onto the ground. And then Eldrin, your go.
Oh, good grief. Okay, well, this is a bit of a mess. First of all, bonus action to cast Shillelagh.
Okay.
And I just whack the nearest guy towards me. And of course, there's an 8. Oh, every time I use a different spell, because that's Eldritch Blast, it's just miss.
All right.
An 8? That's not gonna hit.
Yeah, you find some purchase, but it's breaking off like small vines and branches. You don't really do a lot of structural damage.
Oh well. Shit.
Thrawn, your go. Just keep in mind that I don't believe you've raged yet. So, because
No, I
I'm only
have
saying that because you have like
rage.
1 left, and
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't used it. All right.
If you were to dash, you could probably get onto the rooftop. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I'm gonna. Where can I? So wherever she
Uh,
was, wherever Apex she was, where she shot Martha,
Assuming he can take his dash while flying. I don't know.
yeah, I would assume
I can.
like you could get onto the roof with however many feet it takes you to get on the roof, and then if you have leftover land speed, you could like actually run. You know what I mean? Going from a fly to a
Yeah.
run. I would allow you
All
to
right.
do that.
Where? Point out 20 feet to me. I can't fucking see.
So if you,
So you were
I
like
believe it
right
was
there.
25 was the nearest spot for you to get
So,
onto here. Yeah.
hmm So you do 25, get onto the roof, switch back to feet,
Yeah.
and then I don't know how much you'd have from there.
Where can?
You'd have to use your action in order to
Yeah,
like run all the way up, but you can run all the way up to her.
that's fine. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, you can surround her
I
token anywhere that you'd like.
I can't see her on the map though. So that was,
Yeah, we
uh,
can't see the rooftop.
Oh, that's I
So
see. I see what you're saying because you're not on the other
yeah,
side. Okay.
yeah. So as far as I am right
Now do
now,
you
it's about
see
as
it?
far as I can see.
I believe you're on the other side
No,
now. No. Oh, because there's
hold
no
on. Let
lighting
me.
here. Hold
yep.
Yeah.
on. I'll put down
Although
a
he
I'll
does
put
have
down a
light
light
on
thing,
himself.
but
Prom does physically have light on himself, so
yeah.
Oh, I do. I
I'll
do
put a
actually.
little torch. That's fine. Um, but anyway, you're next to her. Um, I'll drop it down in a second. So the twig blights, they just go ahead and scratch at you.
Ow. Here we go again.
Whatever that is, +2.
Ow.
So what's your
Yeah.
AC? It probably
That's
hits with
not.
both of them because they're flanking.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 8 damage as these things flank you.
Good grief.
So scrap golem. So you see as the plate's starting to rise up to its like mid torso region, and you can see as some of the people that like where Ragnar and where Quincy kind of climbed up to, they're starting to be enveloped in this. And she already used her reaction, so that's good. Okay. So I'll drop a light down, and Leah, it's your go right now.
Right, so I am now going to light that little fuse I set up.
Hold on
My tinder
1 second.
box.
Don't want to forget to do that. Okay, so you can see the fire starting to go like back, like where he splashed the oil on its face. Um, the flames are starting to like down towards its nose and like start to like encroach back, like on the back side of its head.
Right, so I'm gonna start lighting the fuse on the thing I set up,
Okay.
giving a quick shout to Ragnar. Musclehead, if you don't want to die, I'd step back. And I am going to. So with lighting that fuse, with just pulling a tinderbox out, lighting that, and yelling to Ragnar count as my action, or no?
I would say it would count as your bonus because you have the thingamabob where you can use items.
Cool. Right. Just not enough. Whatever. I'm going to move. Okay, let's see how far I can. Okay. So I'm going to move right there, and I'm going to use my short bow on this guy.
All right.
Right. Up here.
Oh yeah, no problem. You don't even have to roll sneak damage. It's enough.
Right.
Hopefully this doesn't delete the turn order.
Right.
It did. And it doesn't matter anyway. They went right before the scrap golem. So I'll just remember on that last one.
Yep. And the fuse is lit for the bucket now in the scrap. So
Okay.
whenever you decide to make that go, you let it go.
Okay.
That's
So
my
you
turn.
can see it's probably burned about like running over here, maybe a quarter of the way up it's like starting to catch, because again, this is like light twined. It's not like a wick. It's not like, it's just a string, as opposed to like something that was specifically designed for this purpose. All right, so Martha, go ahead and make a death saving throw.
Oh god.
That's one success.
Oh, nice. Damn, they're natural 20.
All right, and yeah,
I'll be in the bathroom real quick.
It's gonna be Quincy's go, but she is gonna go ahead and use her legendary action to use Vicious Mockery on you, Throm. So go ahead and make a Wisdom saving throw.
Come on.
As she just looks at you, as like you like run right up to her. She's like, naughty child, you worm.
Oh. That's 7 because I don't have damage.
when you roll a natural 20 on your second.
Right.
So just on your first attack, you have disadvantage and you take hold on. You take damage. It's Quincy's go.
You take damage. Alright. He's gonna do a save and throw. I'm sorry, not a save and throw, a strength check. 17.
That's enough. So you pull down and you just like barely like keep holding onto this creature. So you and this person are kind of like suspended, whatever, like 15 feet in the air or so.
Alright, I'm gonna drop you. Is it a man or a woman?
It's a man. An older gentleman, probably like in his 50s.
Ah, shit.
Okay.
Why'd you have to be a paladin once? Alright, I'm gonna use a bit of movement to climb. Not fully down, but just down enough to where I can safely drop him.
Okay, yeah, you do that. You're just hanging on by like another 5 feet or so, because this person's not like an invalid. Like once you get him out, like he's like trying to climb down too.
And then I'll use the rest of my movement to go to another person and.
Okay.
Next turn, try to pull somebody else.
Okay. Great. Ragnar, your go. And you take 3 psychic damage, by the way.
Oh, okay.
From the Vicious Mockery. I had to do it because I couldn't remember, like Vicious Mockery, like a lot of cantrips level up. I couldn't remember exactly what the damage was. Yeah, I would say I would give you advantage on the roll, Ragnar, if you wanted to use your bonus action as well. Like, consider using your bonus action towards this, your action and bonus action. Hello? Do you hear me? Does anybody hear me?
Hey.
I can.
Okay. Okay, I just want to make sure because my mic cuts out from time to time.
But yeah, he uses his whole action just to try and get people out.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Because a 6 would not make it, but I would give you advantage if you use your bonus action, because you were able to climb a little bit higher than Quincy, so like the people aren't being like encroached on yet by this absorption, whatever it is.
Yeah. And he's just getting people out, trying to help them down. Same thing that Quincy's doing, basically.
Right. So yeah, you rip, and there's this probably early 40s woman that you rip out, and she thanks you. Thank you.
It's my job. And he goes back, just looking for more people.
She attempts to join you.
Ah. I'll allow that.
Okay. So I will give you, as long as she's kicking around, I'll give you advantage on all the checks to try and save
Cool.
people. Alright. So I still didn't put down that darn light.
No, you didn't.
How
I'm
dare
going
I?
to go and use the bathroom real quick, so hopefully, I mean, my turn just finished, so.
Okay,
Yeah.
10-4. Alright, now do you see?
Let me see. Yes.
Alright. Just because it was beyond the dynamic lighting, because you're flying.
Yeah,
So
I can see. I can't see past her. There's like an edge cut off, but I can see her.
yeah. Alright. So it's her go, and she is just going to she's just gonna use her claws at you. She's gonna scrape you for 14.
Okay.
And also don't forget the 3 psychic that you took before that.
Yeah, I got that.
And she's just gonna circle around you. She's just kind of like at this point like semicircling around you as she like swipes at you, and she's in kind of like a battle stance.
Okay.
Eldrin, your go.
All right. Poison spray on the last Wickerman.
That's enough to do it. As you blow it away.
Can someone please heal me?
I'm going to use my movement to go over to. I don't think I can do anything right now because I used my action.
Yeah, there's only one other person that can heal you, and he didn't see you fall.
I can do a medicine check to stabilize you, but that's the best I can do.
You have to have a medicine kit though.
Oh,
Which is like its own. It's like a specific thing, yeah.
Okay. Well, that's.
Just gently pat her body, like, it's gonna be okay.
It's gonna be okay, baby girl. It's gonna be okay, baby girl.
Should I try to fuck her back to life?
What? What?
What? Okay.
No.
All right. Is it me next? I think that's your turn, buddy.
Yep.
I was like,
Rom, your go.
All right. So catching up to her, standing over her, breathing hard, seeing Martha fall. Brahm's eyes are just gonna turn just white with rage. And he's not gonna attack her. He's gonna grab her.
Okay.
and here we go.
Okay. So go ahead and it's a contested. Your athletics versus my acrobatics or athletics, whichever one is better.
Which I have advantage on because I'm reaching.
Yes, you do. Let's hold on here. Gotta check what it is.
Oh.
Her strength
Pretty better.
is better. Yeah, her strength is better. So
Wow. 16 versus 16.
okay, we're gonna go ahead and do that again then. If
Okay.
yeah.
I'll watch it again after Monday.
That roll. Okay, so she got a nat 1. Let's see what you get.
Not one as well.
No. Yeah, no problem. So, and like it plays out just like that. Like you go to grab her and you can see like she doesn't seem like she's very strong, but she is, and she's like just keeping with you. And then as your rage pushes through, she kind of like loses her footing on one of the shingles, and you just like use that moment to your advantage. And she is now considered grappled.
And I am going to move up in the air with her. My movement speed.
Okay. So just so you know, she is a lighter creature. She's probably, because of her build, she's probably about 120 pounds or so. I don't know if that puts you over your encumbrance. Blah blah blah.
It shouldn't. Let me see.
Did you take the bear totem? So you have like double.
I do have the bear totem. That's the next totem, but even with my regular. Wait, it should.
I mean, it says you only.
I don't know how to.
It says you only have 51 pounds on you, which isn't that bad. It's
and that's if I have my backpack and bedroll and hand axe and all that stuff, which I don't, because I gave my hand axes to.
Right. I'll say it's fine. You shouldn't be over encumbered by 150 pounds with your strength and all that. Okay. All right. So you have her. So considering that she's grappled, and you're moving another person, this would work the same if you're in the air or if you're on land. You move half of your movement. So like, because you're dragging, or in this case, like you're carrying against the will, but you can move with her as long as you keep the grapple. But it's at half movement speed, whether it's land or air.
Yep, no problem. Just gonna. How far is that? From there to the edge of the roof, I can't see.
It's about 15. It's 15 to like the very, very edge.
Okay. Well, no, I'm just gonna go up 10 feet.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay, so you're just gonna go up to the ledge?
Yeah. Question: does grappling her count as an attack, though? Before I do all that.
Yes. That counts as your attack. It counts as like one attack. So when you get multi-attack, you can attempt to grapple multiple times. Yeah, it's like one per attack.
Well, yeah. I was mostly making sure for my rage, because I don't want to, lose it if I don't attack. Then I would just attack her. But if that's considered an attack, I won't worry about it. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah.
So you have enough movement, so you're bringing her all the way up to the ledge?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna move you guys. Hold on. I believe you should be able to see people now. They should be able to see you. I'm just gonna align it like this. Okay, so you see the scrap golem at this point kind of absorbed people almost to the base of its neck.
How has the bucket of oil burned yet, or is that?
Okay, so the flames are starting to lick like down its spine and like starting to go down its neck, like in the more exposed area before like this plating is happening from the bucket that's on the head. The bucket down below as well. You said you just kind of like loosely, you just kind of like had the lid sitting on top enough, right?
Yeah, just so it held in place, but not enough to actually like crush in between, so it would still be able to burn through.
Okay, so you can see it doesn't make like an explosion. It just makes like a small like poof, because there is a cover, and then like the cover kind of like blows off a little bit, and you can just see like this gout of flame, like where this oil is just like steadily burning, but the gout is probably like 2 or 3 feet tall, and it just like instantly, like it the angle of it gets right underneath where those platings are, and it starts kind of burning it from the other side. As you can see, fairly quickly, it spreads and this thing starts to shriek, and you can see it's getting more mobility, but it isn't 100% yet.
Sick.
It's starting to like try and uncurl itself from the position that it's in. And at that, I can't remember. Did the Lady of the Wood use her reaction this turn?
I think she did on me. She's...
Oh yeah. She did. She did at you. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Leah, your go.
Right. Enough range of the weapon. Let me see. Yeah, I definitely have enough range of the bow, so I'm just gonna use my bow again and take a shot at the Lady of the Woods. She's facing Throm right now, right?
Correct.
That's right, so I'm just gonna go for a shot at the side of her head. Ugh. Well, I mean, if I have advantage, that'll be a hit, but otherwise...
Yeah, unfortunately, you don't have advantage. She's grappled in place, but she's not like restrained or anything.
Right,
So I kind of like, while they're wrestling, it just kind of like whizzes by.
Right, okay, so I'm just gonna use my movement then to sort of get next to Eldrin here. Which, like, shouldn't be a problem at all. Like, yeah, no problem whatsoever. And I'm just gonna sort of be there in case he needs help, or that I can help him out of anything if he needs it.
All right. Martha. So that's one fail.
Eldrin,
Quincy.
help!
I don't know what I can do. I can use a medicine check, but I don't have a medicine kit.
Do you actually have a medicine kit?
No, I don't.
I was gonna say, because that's like a special. That's like a tooling.
There's nothing much I can do right now, but...
Oh boy, this is looking like Eleanor version 2.
I mean, I could try the, something random, I guess, but...
You could try fucking, what is it? You have like an don't you have like an electric thing, or was that Eleanor that had that?
I do have lightning spells, but...
And Elentar had Shocking Grasp.
Yeah, damn it. Because I would have said, like, fuck, I forgot the name of the thing, but like, try, Why can I...
Defibrillator?
Thank you! Just the defibrillator. With that.
I could try using lightning for the same purpose, but that's
Would...
Yeah, that would kill her instantly.
Yeah.
It says
Couldn't you
was
say
like
they
a
like
lash of
rip
lightning
off part as a
so-
bandage for a medicine check?
Mhm.
I don't know. You don't have it, because that's the whole point of like the medicine kit, right? It has like bandages. It has like I would say
Anything can be a
you're-
bandage if you try hard enough.
Right, but if you don't have proficiency, if you don't have any medical knowledge, you know what I mean? But I could say you could attempt it. You can attempt anything. But it's going to be a high DC and probably disadvantage without any proficiency in medical stuff and without medicine kit.
I mean, you could just try to like CPR or something.
CPR. Oh god.
Well, she's still breathing. At this point, she's unconscious. She's kind of like bleeding out. But anyway, so it is Quincy's go, by the way, Thrum.
I rolled a strength check already. Wow.
Oh,
That
sorry.
nonsense
Yeah.
was going on. Nah.
So as you're doing this too, you can see because you're climbing up, right? Because you're trying to pull people like before they get kind of messed up. The flames are coming down around the back of its head and down its face. Like the flames are like right there. So you know. So if you still want to pull somebody out, go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw as well. The strength check is enough to pull somebody free.
Quincy does not have healing word. He'd have to get over to Martha, but you'd have to get his attention first. Let's see. Make a dexterity save, you said?
Yes.
Oh. He has no modifier on that.
Yep,
He's a
no
damn
problem. You don't take any damage.
Remember,
even if
it's
you did take
it's
damage, it wouldn't matter really.
Yeah. No, that's only against physical, like slashing,
Yeah,
bludgeoning.
Oh, I know, but
Yeah.
just in general, Quincy is a tank of the character.
Right.
So
Yes,
he's gonna pull the person out, and he's gonna do this. Or is it a man or a woman?
It is a woman. Probably about like 28 or so, late 20s.
Okay. He's probably gonna climb down to about the same range that he dropped the older man at, then maybe a
Okay.
little higher, and drop her.
Okay. It's gonna expend a little bit more of your movement. You can see she's a little bit more hurt. She's like starting to get singed a little bit from the fire, and also because like you climb down and then you have to climb up higher, right? Because this thing is getting higher. So you're like at the base of its feet. It's like where you end your turn.
Okay. So I don't end it near where I can get do my strength check on my next turn, starting off, right?
Not starting off, but like if you use your full turn to climb, you could probably get one more person. But again, this is like where you were was like right where the fire was coming down.
Okay.
and also next turn it's gonna absorb more people as well.
So Ragnar, you guys are doing the same thing. You're climbing over to try and grasp somebody else as you see like this flame just start wicking up from the back. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a dexterity check. You also make a dexterity check. Okay.
Whew.
Oh wow. Okay. So you can see as the young woman who's trying to help you, you guys are both pulling. I would allow you if you wanted to attempt to pull somebody out with the advantage. If you if you wanted to like push on like for that extra second to try and get one last person free, I would let you do that. With advantage is
18.
enough. You pull out probably a younger man, maybe like 17, 18 or so, and as you guys are pulling free, this flame like wicks up and it catches this woman's hair, and she just like starts.
And I would say if there's the movement or the time for it, Ragnar is gonna start getting off of the golem now. He's got these people. He's like, this is as much as I can do.
I would say with the help of the man that you just like helped, and you actually have to carry her body down because she at this point she has like really bad burns. Like you're trying to pat her out. She takes the brunt of it just with the long hair. It wicks up, unfortunately. You take six fire damage. I'm just gonna roll one for the gentleman.
By the way, Dylan, did you make this map?
No,
Okay.
I took this one.
You stole it.
I did.
Okay,
Okay, so as her legendary blah 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 Throm, she the Lady of the Wood is just going to smile at you wickedly, and she points over to your group of friends. And hold on here, she's going to use her spells are dwindling here. So she needs to save that. Okay, so she's going to go ahead and use sleep at 3rd level.
Oh, good grief. It doesn't affect me because I'm an elf.
That's
Haha.
true.
Wait,
so.
sleep doesn't affect you as an elf? I know charm doesn't. Magic
Cannot put
okay.
you to sleep.
Okay.
Or charm him.
But that is certainly enough for Leah to go to sleep.
I mean, isn't there a saving throw or something you have to make, or is it like a guaranteed hit?
No, how it works is it's in hit points total, and it goes from whoever has the lowest amount of hit points first.
Okay.
So if it doesn't have enough to be your whole hit points, you don't go to sleep. Like if she rolled a 20 and you had 21 hit points, you wouldn't go to sleep.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
I knew being an elf comes in handy.
Okay. So then on her actual turn, Throm, I guess she's just kind of like duking it out with you. She's just going to yeah, she's gonna go ahead and use magic missile as she puts her hand to your chest and lets fly these magic missiles.
How many magic missiles does she have? Good grief.
Well, that's half to 6, by the way. So, because I'm raging.
Okay. Just as a
What
double
kind of
check,
damage is that?
it's force damage. I just want to make sure that
I don't
The only
think it's
damage
force.
I can get hit, that I take full effect is psychic.
right, because
my
Bear
bear
Totem is it literally says all
Oh,
except
wow,
psychic.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So even force damage. So good. So you only take 6.
Good grief.
And she can't move because she's grappled. So, yeah. Eldrin, your go.
Okay. Quick question. Can I try using Phantasmal Force to make her believe she's being healed? Except she's unconscious right now, so I'm not sure it works. Because Phantasmal Force is like apparently an illusion that's so real, people believe that everything being done to them is real. So
Like a placebo
if
effect?
I make the illusion to do a healing
I see what
spell,
you're
would that
saying.
technically work?
No, because you're not actually healing her body. You know what I mean? Like at this point, she's like she's unconscious because she's like bleeding out from the the arcane blast she took in the back.
Okay.
It's a good time to get Quincy's attention before he climbs back up. Just saying. While he's on the ground.
Yeah. I'll just shout to Quincy. It's like, Quincy, Martha needs help. Kind of something like that. That doesn't take too long. And then I'll just take the time to just blast the witch. Because fuck off!
And Leah's still asleep.
Go ahead
Yeah.
and roll.
You son of
Yeah,
a bitch.
go ahead and roll
A nat 1. Oh.
a nat 1. Well, these guys, they're like intertwined, like they're grappling each other, right? Throm is like trying to use his power over the witch right now. So go ahead and roll another Eldritch Blast. See if you hit Throm's AC.
Oh.
Okay, which you
no.
don't.
Look at the nat 1s. It's real right now.
Okay, so literally,
Watch
like
where you shoot that.
as you guys are grappling, it shoots like because the witch is kind of shorter than you, and you're taller, but you're looming over you. It shoots like right in between the center of where you guys are grappling each other, like just barely grazing both of you.
I just like as a bonus action just kick Leah to wake her up.
Watch where you shoot.
I assume it doesn't take that much to wake her up. There's a kicking her.
The
No,
damage on that
it says right on the spell. It takes an action.
Oh.
It takes an action or damage.
Well, great. Not only did I not hit the witch, someone is still asleep.
Waste
Good
of
job,
time.
Nick.
Throm.
Blame the dice.
So Throm is gonna crack his neck from all those hits. You like trees, huh? Timber, bitch. And he's gonna drop off the roof with her on the bottom. I don't know how high the roof is, but
Oh god.
Okay.
Oh no.
You're gonna Jaeger bomb. What is
How heavy are you, man? That's a lot of.
about 7 feet, 300 pounds. So I'm a big.
Oh,
fella.
let's just say she's dropping at breakneck speeds.
300
Okay,
pounds.
so this
of
is going to be
steel.
this is definitely going to be let's see, what would I do? Probably like a dexterity. Hold on. Let's go ahead and do one more grapple check.
Okay.
You guys are both going to take falling damage, but this is to see if you can maintain,
Yeah.
like, if you're going to squish her.
If you just
that
squish
is
it, that'll be the
brutal.
funniest end to a boss ever.
How high up are they?
athletics.
Like 20 something feet?
Yeah, probably about
Stories?
20, 25
Wow.
feet.
So, at least an average of 10 points of damage.
Wow.
Around that.
Oh, that
Probably.
says GG.
Okay, so as you take her, she like resists you, but you know, at this point, like you pretty much got her, and you're like, you roll off, and I'm gonna go ahead and
That's
Go ahead and what? Sorry.
so. Okay, so she takes 8, and you take half of that force damage, which is half for you. So you take 2, she takes 8.
Okay.
And
you
guys are
rolled 2
both-
not once when it mattered most.
You guys are both prone.
Would it be any excess damage because he's landing on her?
That's a good question.
I'm just saying, like that. I don't know what you just rolled there. Okay, 3d8. So isn't it a d8 per 10 feet falling, plus another d8 from him landing on her, or is that a different thing entirely?
There are some rules. I have loose rules I use for that. I added a little extra. Instead of 2d8,
Sorry,
I made it 3d8.
I see.
Can I point something out? Throm can actually right now pull a seismic toss on this witch.
I could if I could fly a little faster. So that is well.
I would
since
say
that
that's a
tech-
movement. That's a movement.
Okay.
Because you
Dropping off.
didn't like attack. You literally just like kept your grapple and like forced her off the edge.
Come
And
on,
you guys
do a
like
seismic
wrestled each
toss.
other
That'd be
in the
amazing.
air. And now you guys are
Do I have-
both.
So he still has an attack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I have
Fun,
enough movement
fun
to
fact.
get up?
Yeah, you use half your movement to get up. So you do. Yeah, you have just enough to you can stand up.
And
Tom's such a beautiful, such a brutal character. I love it.
By the way,
And I'm
fun
gonna-
fact. Just did a quick calculation. Well, from that distance, and Throm's weight, he actually just hit her with a ton of force, like literally a ton
Yep.
from that impact. I did the actual
Yeah.
calculation, 1,300 newtons.
Jesus.
Yeah, the impact.
yeah.
Like if she wasn't a boss, she'd be the pancake.
It cracked
Like
the
he
ground.
fucking cracked the earth, yeah.
And I'm
Next
gonna
turn, just do a seismic toss. You'll be fine.
take a swing at her with my greatsword when I get up. She's on my
All right, advantage. Because she's prone.
without having to do reckless. Nice.
Oh yeah, but then wouldn't you lose your grapple?
I'm sure the grapple was broke by the fall. So yeah.
Yeah.
It's-
It's kind of like
Okay.
broken, and then you like rolled on your back and like got up.
Wow.
Nice,
Jesus.
nat 20. That's awesome, dude. Okay, yeah. So you don't have brutal critical yet, do you? Poop. Okay, but 14.
yeah, no.
Okay. Yeah, you get like one clean chunk like right out of her. She like puts up like her clawed hand in order to try and deflect it, but you literally just like squish her arm like back to her torso as you just take like a large chunk out of her I'm drawing a blank here, but the collarbone region, whatever that's called.
No, not clavicle. I don't know.
Yep, no, that's what it is, clavicle.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
So-
And
but I'm
that's
sorry,
my
sorry
turn.
about all that. But I'm sorry
Alright.
about the whole calculation thing. But I was just too curious to see exactly how much that
No, that was great information. I didn't. That was,
fucking
Oh.
ton of force.
Alright. So as the flame starts to lick up, it's on like I believe it's the left leg that has the flame.
Right.
That was the
There.
right leg. The right leg is
right
what
leg,
is what
okay.
thing was.
So that one at this point has gone almost up to the kneecap, and you can see these like the scaled things have risen up like about to its eyes, and you can see the flames are also like starting to lick down its back a little bit, and it's starting at this point it's starting to unfurl itself, trying to get to like an upright standing position. And then Leah, your go.
Right.
sorry. Can you add a +2 to that damage?
Yep.
So I didn't have it set on my weapon.
You can try waking up, can't you?
Right. I am so.
I mean,
I
what's
am
what's
I am
what's the
asleep,
worst way
so
to die?
I mean, either get fucking vines growing into you and into your brain, or
All
get
right.
burned alive. Both don't exactly seem fun.
So hold on. So Leah, you're asleep.
Yeah,
So
that's what I was saying.
sorry, Martha. Go ahead. Death saving throw, and then Quincy. So
That's
that's a
save, I think.
success. So 2 saves, 1 fail right now.
Oh
There should
boy,
be
we're
three,
in
or
for a
is it best
doozy
of
in a
two?
second, aren't we?
So Quincy, you're at the base of this creature, and
Okay.
I
And
believe it,
he,
the woman that you grabbed is like starts to flee off. She's just like she gives you a big hug. She's like, thank you," and she just like starts
Of
running
course.
off.
Quincy
All
was
right.
notified that Martha was down.
Yes,
Yeah.
he was.
So he's gonna and he's gonna leap off the leg and he's gonna make a dash towards Martha.
So 60 feet for him. I.
You kind of have to go out and around a little bit, just because
Mhm.
like the perimeter, right? So if you
Yeah.
bounce off, you could be at like this square, or I would even say like this square, because you're like you jumped. So maybe staying from like this square.
Where? Can you get again?
Yeah, you can get like one more to the right, like that one, because you like jumped.
Okay, so you could get right there. Just about. With the full action, basically.
Yeah, if I dash, can I get next to Martha?
Yeah.
What
I think
is
so.
that? What's that?
I'm marking how far 60 feet
60?
would be from where. Because dashing.
Oh yeah, it's yeah, that's just enough. Yeah, so if he dashes, yes, he can get enough.
Cool.
He not to use his action this turn, but
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because
like to be
either
ready for
way,
next turn. Yeah.
yeah, because either way it'll be.
And she just passed that death save, right?
Yeah, so she passed 2,
So-
failed 1.
I don't know what that means necessarily for her.
She's still fine.
At three, she stabilizes. She's not conscious. She's not at 1 hit
Okay.
point.
So I'll make my full dash towards her.
Yeah. That right there.
Okay.
Good to know.
All right, Ragnar, your go.
Oh, typing.
Okay, so at this point, Ragnar is now on the ground, and with all the people that he saved,
You're-
assuming they have not run away.
You're
Right.
on the ground, and you can see the younger gentleman, is hurt really bad. Like he has bad burns from the way down. He's still conscious. And you and him had to carry down the young woman. She is unconscious right now, but you're at the base. You're on like the ground.
I hope the fires have gone up for those two.
Get away from here as well as you can. There's still fighting going on. I gotta attend to this, and he's going to start running towards where the Lady of the Woods is battling with Rome now.
Lying down.
Okay, he weakly limps off the dude, and then you're just
Okay.
gonna leave the other person there?
I mean, he tells that to both of them. Just get away
Yeah,
as
but
best
woman's
as you can.
unconscious.
The woman is unconscious. She caught fire and she got hurt really bad.
I mean, I'm assuming they're going to try and help her.
What I'm saying is like the dude is like barely alive. Like he has really bad burns. He was just barely able to like help you get this person down to the ground.
Oh
So there's
shoot,
one-
you didn't tell them to meet up at...
Okay, so Ragnar takes the woman then and brings her over away from the construct. So how far would I be able to move then?
It takes 2 squares of movement to do one if you're like dragging somebody, if you're carrying somebody.
So dashing, I would go 30.
Yeah, dashing you would get 30. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just gonna move 30 feet over here then. I mean, from is fine for the moment. All right, and that's I guess as much as I can do really. Actually, no, that uses action to dash. Never mind. Okay. That's it.
Okay, let's see if the thing recharges. It does. Okay, so she's going to use her half her movement to stand back up. And she's going to go ahead and hold on here. This is intense.
So yeah, for those who are interested,
Alright, so at Elentar, sorry, Eldrin, because it came up earlier. She just like looks over at like with like just this seething, hateful gaze.
Oh, here we go again. Oh boy, I'm literally slammed into the ground. So I'm literally down. I'm just gonna pretend I was knocked 5 feet back and just fall to the ground.
And she will take an attack of opportunity, but she's actually gonna run. So 1, 3. Oh, hold on.
Nice.
She's
So
gonna like,
that is
just
0.
run around here.
But Rome gets an attack of opportunity, right?
Yes,
Nice.
Okay.
she's positioning herself.
We were in half.
All right, and then so you can take your attack, Throm, and Eldrin, go ahead and make a death saving throw.
Yay!
Doing a reckless.
16 is a
Told you
success.
guys we should have ran. Told you guys we should have ran.
Noble obligation. It is my
Reckless,
duty to
yep,
protect
that
the
hits.
people in need. Oh wow, 10. 10 slashing.
All right, and then it's actually your go, Throm.
No, you don't. And I'm
Okay.
sure I can respond with half movement, so I'm gonna make it to her pretty easy.
You're gonna grapple her again.
You would have to go around the bush, just because
Do I really have to go around a bush? I'm pretty sure I can just go through it.
you
Right?
can. It's more
I'm
of
just saying.
I say it's a bush. It's more of like a tree and a bunch of shrubbery in the way.
Mhm.
You still have enough movement. It's more of like a picky like. I had her do it as well.
All right.
I also have 0 hit dice left. Nice.
And also, you're a gigantic dragonborn, so you're gonna have a bit more trouble. With
Oh
it
wait, hang on. No, wait, hang
than a
on.
little disgusting old woman would.
Wait, where was she when she did that magic missile?
Right
Right here?
around. Yeah. There.
Hang on. Is that 40 feet?
It's 40
I
feet.
can't see what
Yeah.
matter.
That was 40 feet.
Well, just so happened she was within range of Hellish.
That is true. If you want to use spell
So
slot.
there goes my last
Yeah.
spell slot as well.
I would say yes, that counts. Like as you're going unconscious, you're just like, fuck you.
Point.
Alright.
Point at her with middle finger.
Jesus.
DC
18
13
fire.
dex
I'm
save,
gonna-
and if she passes, she takes that.
It's a lot of damage, so I'm gonna have her roll. I usually have my creatures roll like for my screen, but I'm gonna have her roll here. Hold on.
There goes my last spell slot.
Well,
You
you're
don't really
knocked
need it
out,
in your
so
shape
All
right now. man.
Dexterity.
Dex save.
She has she has advantage, but 13 is still not enough. Okay. So as
Was it
she
not?
does that, like flames just like lick like all up her body, and she's like as it goes out, like it's just like a big burst of flame, and you can see like some of her tatters and her hair is singed and whatnot.
And then Throm can take his hit.
Is this a fun? Is this a fun? Fuck you.
Yeah, and then Throm, you go.
God damn, dude.
Nice, dude. Where
That's
it
like the
counts.
5th natural 20 that he's had.
She
All
has
of
a
them are on attacks.
she has a really high armor class too, so it's like good.
Goes down flipping off the lady.
And I'm gonna make sure I'm on this side of it. Hold on.
I
I
think
was trying
like
to move us.
the majority of From's attacks have been natural 20s.
Sorry. This
At
side
least
already.
like 60 to 70%. That's ridiculous.
Okay. So she's gonna go ahead and use her legendary reaction because her thing recharged.
Ooh.
Ooh, okay. Hold on here. So she's going to place 5 more of these twig blights.
It's. I guess it depends on where is the big deal.
Oh, you know where she's gonna place them. She's not an idiot. She's gonna place him in a semicircle to kind of like block you, Ragnar.
Do
And
they have their own initiative?
I'm having them all go on one, so I'm just gonna roll it. And the way I do it for these is if their roll isn't lower than Throm, if it's not between Throm and Scrap Golem, they have to wait till next.
Yeah. Which we can hope for.
Wait.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Hold on here. They're all
Initiative 3.
They're all going. That's actually what they rolled last time too.
Yeah, it does actually. Oh wait, so they. Oh wait, they did go.
So they'll focus on Quinn.
Okay.
Or
So
I would imagine they would go for the next best healer. I don't know though.
they're gonna go ahead and at Eldrin. They're gonna attack one at Eldrin. So Eldrin, you take 2 death saving throws.
Oh,
dude, death
it's a
saves. Okay.
2 death saves. This one's gonna go ahead and claw at Quincy.
So I
nat
passed both
one.
of them, right?
So no. You fail 2 death saving throws.
Oh wow.
This
Is
one's
Eltron
gonna go.
within 5 feet of Quincy?
No,
Oh, okay.
unfortunately. So 1 hits, but does 3 damage, so it doesn't affect her. All right. Hold on here. This one's also going to go for Quincy. Doesn't hit. And this one's gonna go for Martha, and I gotta check the rules here.
I'm pretty sure they get advantage on the attack, but if they don't hit, then they don't fail 2 death saving throws.
Yeah, I don't think that there's actually like a rule. I mean, sorry, I think that not a roll.
I think they count.
I think it's an auto hit.
Mm.
Because you're unconscious.
So
Yeah, let's see. I think you automatically fail anything that's dexterity based. But as far as I know, I think you still have to roll to hit if they're unconscious.
Okay, they can't
But
move.
I know they
blah,
do.
blah, blah. Automatically
Yeah,
fail
I do know.
strength. Attacks have advantage. Okay, and any attack is a crit.
So they count as
Yeah.
prone, basically.
Okay, so it does have advantage.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunately enough to hit Martha. So you can see as these creatures just start digging in, the hag starts just cackling wildly. You can see she's all beaten and bloody at this point. And you can see it just start raking into Martha, and the breath leaves her body. And one starts raking into Eldrin. He's still there, but it's definitely
Wait, is
not
that
ideal.
1 death save or 2 death saves?
That's
2
2
death saves.
because it's a crit.
well, that is just fucking fantastic.
So the scrap golem here.
There goes the squishy guys.
Okay, so the flames start to lick up, like this whole creature essentially is in the upright position, like starting to, like, it wants to move, but again, like, this thing's just like a tinder box at this point. Just like this giant burning man that's... Yeah. Alright, so Leah, you are still asleep. Martha is no longer.
No one has
at this
asked her
point.
yet, surprisingly.
Quincy, it's Quincy's go.
All right. Seeing that Martha can't really do anything to help her, he's gonna move to Eldrin, and
Wow.
I mean he can, right? Because I'd have to use like a revive or revivify or something
Yeah.
like that, right? Yeah.
Correct.
I mean, we've
Which
hint,
paladins
we
don't really get.
hint. In case people have forgotten, we still have that mysterious item that I suggested we
Please,
save.
if you don't use it, I'm a cry.
Hold on. Okay, so
Just in case the DM
as
forgot.
these
I don't think
things
he did, but just in case.
just futilely just try and scrape at Quincy's armor for the attack of opportunity. It's not enough because of the awesome your feet. They take less damage.
Yeah.
So yeah, you go over there. Yep, and you got to use either a spell or you have to use 5 points of lay on hands to pick someone up. You still heal them
I'm gonna use
5.
Yep. I'm gonna use 5 points on left hand on Eldrin.
Yep. That's why he saved 5. So
Yep.
that's more of a home rule. I don't know if you heard that before, Throm, but I just think
But
it's
it's
yeah.
very reasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm literally on 2 failed death saves, so I think if I go down again, I think I'm...
No, once you come back up, they reset.
Yeah.
But you should have he should be healed 5 points, right?
But you get healed 5 points. I'm just saying you have to have that minimum, because otherwise you could essentially pick somebody up 20 times, because people just go they ping it with 1. So.
Right. And do you do the same with Goodberry for that? I think we talked about it, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't use good berry unless again, like if you had a bunch of good berries, I suppose. Like
I think it's 10 per spell, I think.
If you have however many is the maximum of the spell, just because it's a first level spell.
Mm-hmm.
I like to think of it in terms of resources. You know what I mean? So I would say you'd have to like jam them all in somebody's mouth and make them chew, or however you envision it. They would have to take like one whole spell's worth to kind of like drain that resource.
Okay. So yeah, he's going to use those to bring Eldrin up as he's done with lay on hands, and that's an action to do. So,
I believe it's Ragnar's go at this point, unless you want to use some extra movement to like go around or reposition. You have more movement.
I'm within 5 feet of Eldrin, and Leah, so that's what I'm gonna do for now.
Okay, Ragnar, your go.
Okay, so Ragnar at this point, now that he's decent distance away from the flames, he's gonna put the woman down. What would that be?
It's just a free action to like you gently set her down.
Okay, and then he's going to move over 30 feet over to here. Actually, even better because now I can use my melee, and he's just gonna start taking slashes. Actually,
on top of a
yeah.
bush.
I think, yeah. Would I have been able to move there from my other location? I'm not entirely sure.
Where were you? On the square?
That's kind of what I'm asking.
Right here?
Here.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you have enough movement. Yep.
Cool. And I'm just going to slash her from behind.
Okay.
Oh.
Nice, dude.
Oh, nice.
Them rolls.
The clutch crits when you need them, man.
At least we're not Eldrin.
The map rolls. What do you bet that she's in front of a magic missile?
Magic missile at will, baby. All right. That's your go, Ragnar?
Yeah, I think that's everything that I could really do.
Just gonna see if her thing resets. Does not. All right. What does she want to do? What does she want to do?
If she disengages, I still get an attack of opportunity. Just remember that. Or, well, I'll remember that too. But
Well,
she doesn't know that, though.
she's kind of weighing her options here. She doesn't want her upper hand to. Hold on here.
At this point,
Yeah,
there's no
so
way
she's
I'm
gonna
gonna
go.
keep casting spells with them.
Yeah, that's what she's gonna do. Okay. So she's gonna go ahead and she's going to attack you, Ragnar, with her
Not a good
claws,
Nope.
which is not enough to hit. Okay,
19 AC.
and that's her go.
Nice.
Eldrin, your go.
All right, I'll
next
use.
to you.
Fine. I'll use my action to wake Leah up.
Okay.
But if I go down again, Leah is on you.
Well, I don't want to risk you missing again and just wasting your turn again.
I was gonna use poison spray.
She's still prone. Leah's still prone, but she's awake.
I just give her a very good kick to the head.
Damn.
While you're on the ground. Nah, you can use half your movement to get up, actually.
Wake up.
Exactly.
Wake up.
Wake the F up. Hashtag woke.
Is that it?
Is that your go, Eldrin?
Yeah, I think that's all I can do, right? Because I use
No,
my
but you
action.
Yeah, but you still have your bonus action, don't you?
My bonus action can only be used to cast Shillelagh. So,
I mean, wouldn't it
and I'm not going to be
use
using Shillelagh.
Actually, I think you already have it casted.
But then I went down, which sort of wore off. I think that's how it works. If I go down, it wears off.
Okay, probably.
Literally nothing else I can do.
Alright.
Like, I have to start waking her up.
So, Throm, you go.
Literally just the two melee damage dealers just surrounding and ganging up on the boss. Love it. Oh.
Throm, your go.
I went already.
Oh, I didn't see that. Sorry. Yep. Okay. So you can see at this point, like, she's starting to just look really bloodied and not looking super well.
And
She's looking around frantically.
that's it. Yeah.
Alright, the twig blights are gonna come in here. You can't get an extra one in there, so they're just gonna kind of encircle like that. Actually, yeah, they can if this one moves. Okay. Right, so, these two on the top are gonna go for Eldrin.
Yay! Here we go again.
Quincy's gonna use the protection on the second one.
Okay, so you take
Even if he does, I'll still.
Well, no, because the first
on the
one's only
second
3
one. Yeah.
damage. And he's gonna use it on the second one, so that'll be a 6 instead of the nat 20.
So that is against you, Quincy. So with an at 20, that's cool. So it's 7 damage minus 3 is 4 that you actually
so
take.
4 damage.
And then these other two are gonna go for Leah, and they have advantage because she's prone until her turn. So Leah's gonna go ahead and take 7.
1 second. Oh wait, no, that's next turn. If I'm correct.
You do have your reaction if the defensive duelist puts you.
Yeah, but it wouldn't help the these.
Right.
Now I was thinking about cutting. I was thinking about uncanny dodge, but I remember that's the next level that I get the right now.
Okay.
That's 7 damage. Okay, got it. So I'm
Okay.
up to HP.
So the scrap golem here. Okay. So this thing is literally just like a burning fucking effigy at this point. And I am at this point going to actually roll an initiative.
Horrific, but relieving.
Kind of sort of like right in the middle. Okay.
All right, hold on.
Oh, that's actually really bad because that means that and the fucking Lady of the Woods gets attacked back to back.
All right. So you can see as this thing like is stood up in its full glory, literally just like completely burning. You can see like parts falling off of it, and like it's sizzling at this point. All the screaming
So-
has ceased.
It's animated, but it probably doesn't have long.
It seems to be starting to fall apart from being on fire.
For so long, yeah.
Yeah, it took some time for it to get animated. So
murdered
Leah,
I
you
murdered
go.
a lot of people. Jeez.
Right, I'm going to use my cunning action to disengage. And move towards Eldrin here. And then I'm going to attack the thing here with my rapier. That one, rapier.
Okay.
Rapier, please, not 20 or something. 21, yeah.
Okay.
And
That's enough
2d6 is... And, okay, never mind.
Yeah, these things don't
Yeah,
have a
so
lot of
it's-
health, so that's more than enough.
Okay. Right, I should still have some move left.
Yep, you do.
But... I am going to, as you see, I'm going to move here, because at least that way Quincy has, I think I'm in range of Quincy's thing where he can protect.
Mm-hmm.
So if shit comes to pass, he has that thing. Right, and that'll be it. That's my turn. You're welcome, Eldrin.
Also, just so you know, for when Quincy does have his turn, well, actually, not even on his turn, Quincy can, as a reaction, try to protect others, adding his, I don't know, something.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Just to
It's a
remind you.
it's disadvantage for attack. I did it on the last
that's
turn.
what it is. Okay.
Yeah, you
Okay.
did the last one.
Is Eldrin out right now?
No, he's still got...
No,
Yeah, I am technically because I got hit from fucking Wickerman and went down.
No,
Oh.
the
No,
second one
they
didn't-
should
the
only
second
took
one-
3 damage.
Yeah, you still have 2 HP.
But that's 2 natural 20s.
No, the
Oh,
second
that
one
was-
didn't
that
hit
wasn't on
because
He
you.
of
gave one
Quincy.
disadvantage. And then, so you only took 3. Then the second one, he made disadvantage. Those 2 are against you, and then 1 was against Quincy, which was that second
Yeah.
nat 20.
Yeah.
Ah.
So like you still have 2 HP.
Oh,
You're-
it's Quincy's turn.
You're slightly worse off than that 2-8, who's at 3 HP. So yeah, we're basically dead buddies.
Quincy's gonna.
All right, 11. That's enough.
Oh.
All right. He's taking out just the one in front of him right there.
Okay. As you just swing your long sword down and just like obliterate this thing.
Doesn't exactly help that my
I mean, you're gonna get attacked before these things get attacked again. I can do.
And
So you can take one of them out.
just taking another attack at the Lady of the Woods. Actually, there's not really anything else I can do here. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Nice.
Them high rolls.
Nice. Okay.
I like how I make a disgusted sound when my rolls are high. Because I'm just like, oh god, that must hurt.
Where are the high rolls when I needed them?
All right. Is that your go?
I'm not over there, so it doesn't matter. Yeah.
They were on your death saves, Nick. So you stay alive because you got a high roll on death save. So just be happy about that.
That's true.
You're welcome.
You would have died if it wasn't for that roll you got in your death save.
Yeah, I think that's Ragnar's turn. Shit.
The
This
death
crap.
save on me was like
Oh
60.
god, when
Oh.
that thing moves, when that thing
That was
moves,
a
fuck.
lot of movement.
This thing takes like one step and it. Go ahead and I'm not putting it on your square, but everybody go ahead and make a dexterity. He's not attacking you per se. He's literally just like stepping like a fucking giant.
Dex save.
Yeah.
Please don't fuck me now.
I get advantage on
Yes.
that.
Ugh! Where the high rolls where I needed?
So, do you guys
I'm gonna be squished.
would you guys rather me roll each blight or just do it all? I'll let you guys decide.
I don't know what that really means. Roll them
I
individually.
think you mean
Like roll
means
one for all of them
they're-
or roll individually?
I think you just roll one for all of them.
Yeah.
And before he rolls a nat
If
20.
there's a lot.
All right. Oh, they fucking get squished. Okay, so okay, Throm, you're all set because you're not over there. Oh, for Quincy.
Oh.
Right.
Oh, for
I
Quincy.
think I'm squished with
I
5.
didn't
But
roll for Quincy. That was for me.
You still got a nat 1 and a 3, which isn't even what Quincy actually has less, so he would have gotten a flat 1 and a 3. So okay, so Nick and Quincy, everybody else is
Squish.
fine. You don't take damage if you save at all.
I got fucking swished. That's
So-
a very dignified way.
So
So Nick
5
is down again.
damage, which is enough to kill all of these things.
And knock me out again. Ugh.
Honestly, with that dice roll, he would have knocked him out either way because the minimum roll was 2 and Nick is on 2 HP.
Yeah, I'm also considering this force damage, so you don't negate that, Quincy, because it's like a giant foot coming down.
Well, how much damage was it? 5.
5.
Okay.
So you don't take like the full brunt. It's just like you're trying to get away and not quite enough. You get just a little squished.
The foot came down on me.
So the
So
lady kind of
uncomfortable.
looks over at the giant wickerman and smiles, and then as it like squishes everybody, kind of like, and looks at you both and, you will be my children one day. And we'll see if you can see, because it's pretty lit. She vanishes.
Not a fucking Misty Step.
No.
Oh, okay.
Make a your back is to her, Ragnar. Throm, make a perception check.
The back is to her, what? Oh,
Make a
Oh.
perception check.
behind me. Okay.
Please roll high, please roll high, please roll high.
This one should get a nat 1 on my death save.
No, that's enough. Okay, so you can see as she dimension doors, she is 400 feet away from you. She bloops onto another, and you can see like at this point like the sun is beginning to rise. It's like dawn, so like there's enough that like everything is pretty much dimly lit at this point. As you just like, oh, she's over there.
What a waste of goddamn time.
Here comes a death save.
Yay!
That's a pass.
Success. I was gonna say failed, not success.
If I got a nat 1, I'll be like, yep, this game was my character to die.
Alright. So.
That was burn damage that I forgot to roll, which is awesome. That's awesome. Okay.
So is that burn damage on us or on him?
No, that's on the giant golem.
Woo!
So
Wow,
he's not looking so well.
He just
Yeah,
got.
like I said, he's like a giant. Like pieces are just falling off of him at this point. And he's just like blindly like charging forward. You can see some of the
Yeah.
shrapnels like
If we
falling
can-
on all of these carts and whatnot, starting to light some other shit on fire.
If we can get an idea of his integrity, what is he looking like?
I mean, he's walking forward. He's still a giant. Like pieces are falling off him. It's not like his whole arm fell off, let's say, but he's definitely like he's burning. He's actively burning and taking damage.
Did she dimension door away or did she dimension door onto this roof?
No, she dimension doored away 400 feet. Like you can
behind
just
me.
barely, you can see it like in this direction, not on this roof, but in that direction.
First direction.
But you see her.
I'm gonna run. Fucking waste of time. And I'm gonna make my way over here. I don't know how much movement I have, but that's the plan. Pick up Martha if I can, and
So you go to pick up Martha. Okay, so
Yeah.
as you go towards her, the pendant just thrums with just like this really high frequency vibration. You can like hear an audible like and just like a really intense heat.
Okay.
Would you
Wow.
say that it thrums?
does do I have enough? Do I have action to use it? Do I have
Yeah.
Put it up. I'll take it and I'll put it to her chest.
Okay. So as you put it to her chest, yeah. Okay. So as you put it to her chest, you can see like this. It literally starts to sear down into her chest cavity a little bit, and then it keeps vibrating and humming, and then it lifts off of her maybe about a half an inch or so, just like holding itself in place, and you just see a giant beam come out of the heavens and just and like maybe a
Nice.
10-foot diameter like around Martha just fucking illuminates like blinding light. Actually go ahead and make a constitution saving throw, all those who are awake, to see if you're blinded. And it goes on for
That's what
maybe
we need right now.
like 10 seconds or so. And
Am I close enough to do that? Has to do that
if you're looking towards it, which I would
not.
say,
right now,
I mean it's
obviously.
Fuck
fine.
nuggets!
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll roll one anyway. Oh, fine.
Just
Okay,
Leah,
so
Leah
you
just
guys
screams,
are fine.
"Fuck!"
So
Leah just,
yeah, Leah, you're just caught off guard, and it's just like,
Leah just screams, "Fuck nuggets!"
So Throm, you can hear like this like sickening, almost like a sucking sound. It's really gross. For maybe like 3 or 4 seconds, while this beam just like, and then you notice like this this scarecrow that's walking forward kind of like gets hit by this beam as well, and just fucking like detonates this thing.
Oh.
And it just like falls backwards, and like it's still flaming, and it like a big chunk is taken out of its shoulder. Its arm is ripped off.
Alright. To say for flavor with all this, Throm's wings are out and behind him. Eyes still glowing white from the rage that hasn't failed yet. Live, damn you!
And Martha, you awaken with a you can see there's holes in your clothing where there's just like this really gnarly looking like scar tissue where these like arcane blasts hit you, but you're all good and all well. You can feel the heart beating in your chest, and laid upon your chest is what appears to be like a cracked and broken amulet.
Well, shit. There goes that one. There goes the necklace.
Well,
So I'm
at
gonna
least
say
she's
with the
fucking alive.
fire and everything you did ahead of time, this golem is no more.
Can from where I am, since she hasn't gone yet, can I still see the Lady of the Woods across the way?
You can. It's still in the distance. Do you wish to pursue
Right.
her?
Yes, I'm gonna say to
Okay.
Martha,
Let's go ahead.
"You're welcome," and then I'm gonna get up and get ready to pursue her.
All right. Anybody who
Um,
wants to pursue the Lady of the Woods, gonna go ahead and
I'm
by the way,
unconscious.
Martha, you are at 1 hit point. Eldrin is unconscious. Quincy is there.
Leah's blind.
Leah is blind. You're blind for a minute, Leah.
Mm-hmm.
And Throm has to run off.
So, whoever wishes to pursue Lady of the Woods, we're gonna just have like a quick skill contest to see if you can catch up. She is bloodied and broken, kind of like jumping from rooftop to rooftop.
Question.
I'm unconscious.
so
Do I need to
we're
get a
actually-
death save?
No.
Quinn's gonna use Cure
It's-
Wounds on Eldrin if we're out of combat with that.
Okay.
What-
Yeah. So that portion's out. You guys are fine. Like all the scarecrows are dead, and this is like dawn, so you guys can see everything. You see like just a few people like coming out of the crevices of society.
That's to
What do
Eldrin?
we roll for this theater of the mind?
Oh,
Okay,
You wanna-
yay.
I'm letting all this stuff happen real quick, and then we're gonna do that.
Oh yeah.
So
and
as you
then-
guys see like some people coming out of the woodwork. Okay, so who's chasing after her actively? I would say Eldrin, you have a few second delay because like you're unconscious.
Yeah,
Leah,
I
you're
was just
blind.
brought back up.
Quincy is attending. Martha, I would say like you just came back from the dead. Like you're not in any shape to go chasing. So I would say Ragnar and Throm.
Which
The 8
Ragnar
is
Okay.
going.
So this is what
The
we're gonna
8
do.
Sorry, go ahead.
You guys outnumber her, so that's your advantage, and she's hobbled and broken. So we're gonna go in an initiative order. We're gonna re-roll just for you 3.
Okay.
Including me. Yeah.
Okay, so just Throm, Ragnar,
Oop,
and Lady of the Woods.
I can I redo it on my character token, or are you gonna keep that?
I was just gonna keep
Oh,
that.
that's fine.
It doesn't for what this is anyway. It's fine.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I don't care. It doesn't matter. It would have been the same order anyway.
When better initiative than
Okay.
everyone else.
So, we're all gonna use skills in which we're proficient. You trying to capture her trying to get away, and we're gonna do 3 rounds, and whoever has the most victories wins. So you guys can roll like crap, and she might get away, but you, with numbers, have a little more of a chance. So as she hobbles away, she's gonna go ahead and attempt a stealth check. So DC for this is 12. That's what I normally do my skill challenges at. So you can see she kind of like ducks behind a building. She kind of like does a juke, and then as she looks over her shoulder and notices you're pursuing her. So Ragnar, your go.
Okay. So I think Ragnar is just gonna go full blown athletics check, just raw endurance, literally just running after her, trying to find the area where he can stop her physically.
Right, she's pretty far away, so you're just like fucking long run, just dashing. Yeah. That's
So
cool.
athletics?
Athletics.
Oh.
Okay, Throm.
Alright, Throm's gonna shoot off in the air, and he's gonna use perception.
Okay. Just so you know, it has to be skills that you're proficient in.
Yeah,
Which you
I'm
are,
proficient
but
in
I'm
perception.
just reminding you, you have to be proficient
Okay.
in the skill.
Into skills. Okay, no problem.
So yeah, DC 12. Nice. Yeah, which gains you. Yeah. Okay. So you can see kind of through her juke, she tries to like pretend like she's ducking to like a roof and an alleyway to the left, but she actually kind of like goes straight through a window and then jumps out the other side.
So you can't juke me, bitch. I grew up in the hood. No, that's
All right.
Throm, is good luck.
So you guys gain a little bit. You guys have closed the distance to like 300 feet. She lost a few precious seconds, and with you just hauling ass. Okay, so she's gonna go ahead and try and look for a way. She does not make it. Okay.
And I would assume we're helping each other. Him with the directions, Ragnar with just the pure endurance.
Ragnar.
Okay, so Ragnar is going to try and interesting.
we can't use the same skill, right?
Correct.
That's
You can't use
all
it more than
different
once.
Okay, gotcha.
But I can use a skill that he has used.
Correct.
That he has used. Okay. So I'm gonna also do a perception just to keep better track of her.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, that's not good.
All right, Throm. You go.
All right. This is coincidence. I'm gonna say what my points are different. All right. I'm gonna use survival to kind of keep track as I close the distance and come and fly lower, just so I don't like crash in any buildings or whatnot. Because I want to try to get low enough to
little
like
skill
tackle
challenge
from the
things.
air. Yeah.
All right. You got it.
Just a fun way to make a lot happen in a little bit of time.
Oh.
Okay. So this is the last round. So if we tie, we'll do one more round.
Don't worry, I'm keeping track here.
Positive energy, everybody. Positive energy.
All right. So it's a pass for her. So you can see she like notices you gaining speed and she like goes down in a system of alleyways.
Okay, so that's me right
Ragnar.
now. I guess acrobatics, just to once again keep gaining speed and making shortcuts and kind of, if he can, literally using the environment to gain speed.
Nope.
Nat 1! Oh my dice.
Come on,
Is that-
Throm, it's on you. It's on you,
Out of
Throm.
the things that I'm actually good at.
Throm, it's on you. If you get this Throm, you win by 1. If you don't, it's a tie.
Roll 20 such a con. Alright, so yeah. Wind up above, use my speed, getting ready to tackle. I'm gonna use athletics to make
do.
my sky tackle.
That's what both of us are good at, man.
Oh, okay.
It's a draw.
Throm. So it's a draw. What I'm gonna do is, because you guys have like an inherent advantage, but Throm, you're in the air, and based on her roll, she rolled really well, which was deception. So I'm gonna have it be Throm versus her to see if you see through the deception and can catch up to her. It's a little harder for Ragnar because Ragnar's on the ground. Throm has like the bird's eye.
What am I rolling?
So you roll. I will let you use anything you want versus anything that she wants.
That he hasn't done before, or
This can be something that you have done before or have not done before. This is just like a 1v1, like, do you catch the trail?
Alright.
This is
yeah,
it.
He's the highest one.
Okay,
So she's
I'll say just honing into his barbarian senses and just fucking warrior monsterness is just going to use athletics to just focus. His athletic focus.
Athletic focus, nice.
All right.
Oh, you
Oh,
Why? Is that
why you do this, dice?
All right. So
Well, she's gone.
you go where you believe that she was, down the system of alleyways, and you lose a few precious seconds looking around for her, and you look and there seems to be no trace.
Of course, we roll well on the useless combat, but then when she tries to get away, we do terribly.
Hey, that was super dramatic and fun. Like,
Yeah.
sure.
It was more fun when we were surrounding her, cutting her to pieces, though.
Yes.
At the
Alright.
very least, she's going to have to lick her wound and come back at a later date and finish her off for real. She doesn't have a bunch of people to.
At the very least, we're going somewhere else and coming back with fucking soldiers or something.
I think the rest is an old. Do that.
Well, not giving up. Brahma's pretty much just gonna stay overhead in a circle and hope to catch a glimpse of her. But so he's not gonna go directly back. He's just gonna kind of do that a bird's eye view of the circle of them.
I'm
While
assuming
he does that,
I would
sorry.
assume Ragnar eventually just gets lost and wants to just find his way back.
yeah, I mean, it makes sense. She had a good head start on you guys.
Oh yeah.
But like, you guys made some ground. Like, you were like, right there. But okay.
Eventually,
So-
Ragnar loses track and just starts heading back to the allies.
So
Martha's just sort of sitting there, and she's. What? What happened? I remember getting hit.
Yeah.
Leah's quite literally blindly swinging her rapier around because she still doesn't know what's sort of happened. She doesn't know what's happened. She
Leah,
can hear
you
the
can
fucking.
stop now.
and so
Like, there's no one near you except us. Try not to hit me.
those who are left behind, not chasing the Lady of the Wood, you awaken, you regain your sense of self, and you look around to see just townsfolk that must have remained hidden, um, coming out of the woodwork. Again, this is like dawn, like the sun is just starting to rise above the horizon, illuminating the wreckage. And as you look over, you see this just inanimate construct golem that's been ripped asunder by whatever this blast was that came from above, from this pendant. And I will give anybody one last thing, and then I'm gonna say that's where we're gonna pick up. As you see the townsfolk kind of coming out of the homes.
Can we? I think everyone inside that construct is pretty much dead now.
Oh yeah.
So, like, how many people are coming out of the woodwork right now?
Oh, you
How
can see
this really?
there's quite a few. I mean, this was a large town. There's probably like at least several hundred people that got, destroyed with this golem. But then there's, you can just see dozens like kind of poking their head out here and there.
Okay.
They seem to be like farther back in the town, like none that are in this immediate vicinity, but like you see like 2 or 3 streets down, like people just coming out. You see like one person come out of just like a group of barrels, like all like dirt.
I just turned
like,
to Martha.
bloody.
Okay. I'm just gonna turn to Martha and say, I think we've done enough for one. Actually, take a rest before we collapse out of it.
Okay. Could we say that Ragnar makes it back to them just so that he gets a word in before the session ends?
Sure.
Please.
So as the townsfolk are starting to come out of the woodwork and they're starting to approach like the center of town, see what you guys have done. Ragnar, you make it back to the group.
Looks like we lost her for today, but considering the circumstances, I will take this as a Victory.
I still have no idea what happened, but
She has to look at ruins, and we have time to regroup and get our
Is the
strength
pendant
back.
still there, by the way? Is the pendant still by?
The pendant is just like on the ground.
Okay, I'll just pick it up and say, Martha, you were hit fatally and temporarily died, but Ron saved you. And I'll just wave it.
Thrum saved me?
I mean, he was the only one in possession of this trinket.
Yes,
She's just sort of in deep thought at that.
as we saw, this necklace saved you.
I'm just gonna hang on to the necklace, just research purposes. It is cracked and powerless now, so maybe it's some kind of arcane background I can.
And then Ragnar turns to the townspeople and basically says, as much as there was a lot of loss today, and as much as happened here, we can take this as a minor victory, as we have made this monster flee. We can escort you to another nearby town, as this is nothing but ruins at this point.
No, I think the town is still pretty much intact.
The town isn't completely ruined at this point. There's scuffles, like some buildings are like slightly destroyed and like doors are kicked in and stuff. But besides like maybe this very center area, it's not completely destroyed.
Well, anybody who would like to can come with us to another town, but we're gonna take some time to regroup and then come back to hunt this bitch down.
You can see a couple of people just like fall to their knees and they just like scream out and like just start hitting the ground and stuff and crying out, and like some people just like come up to you and just dirty and bloody, and they just like shake your hand and thank you. You see a couple of the people that you saved from earlier, like they come back after seeing what's transpired, and they just like run up to you guys and give you a big hug.
I want to tell Ragnar,
hold on,
wouldn't it be more wiser
hold
if we...
Hold on. Throm's been wanting to say something.
Before, I guess, can I get one more perception check before turning around and coming back and just landing with everybody else?
Sure.
Because I've just been up there, just circling, just trying to catch any glimpse that I can. If I find anything, I'm just going to come and land. And
okay.
Oh.
You see,
no.
You see like where she diverted and tried to go in like the system of alleyways, and you can see there's like a door that's busted in, where she must have went instead to take another path to throw you off, but you like the trails pretty much goes cold there.
Okay. And I'll make my way back.
So, taking a few minutes to come back, you come back to see like the villagers swarming and some of them crying out in just relief and anger and sorrow, and some of them just praising everything you've done, and the sun kind of cresting over, and that's where we're gonna end it.
Wait, one more thing.
No?
One more thing. Okay.
Martha sees up and kisses him.
Oh, I think we got romance going here, but that's fine. While they do that, I'm just gonna tell right now, saying, I don't think it's wise to leave this town unprotected. Maybe you should just send a messenger pigeon instead. They definitely reach Fellstar a bit faster than that.
We will do that. And also Ragnar approaches the people again. Like, he's still talking to the people and basically goes, does anybody here have family in either Volstand or Handel?
They look around and murmur. No one answers at the moment. They're just kind of like asking around.
Because we might need you to fall in with other folks until we get this place safe, assuming you want to rebuild.
Oh yeah, we need to get someone to collect Mr. Ritter and the children.
And if anybody's missing any children, or you want to know where children are, there was a farmer, Mr. Ritter, who we left a lot of the children that we took from their lair. with that we should probably check up on.
That's it.
But for the moment, it seems like there's a little bit of peace.
Yeah, and I will just end it on a note because we fucking did.
One more thing. One more thing.
One more. Jackie!
Hey,
Jackie!
we got 6 minutes.
One more.
Alright, yeah, go ahead.
Good grief.
Yeah.
No. Okay. Right, it's gonna take short.
Is anybody speaking or is it just me?
I thought Eldrin was gonna say one more thing.
No, I was just gonna say let's end it. That we all take a long rest.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
we
So you're just gonna like flop down next to this giant burning effigy?
Yeah, no,
we find
that's-
the real. I would say that we regroup with the civilians and we find a decent place to rest.
Okay, so this is where we'll end it.
Mhm.
You guys will definitely get a long rest for sure.
Nice.
You can see like running out, like super just like beat up looking, like clothes all asunder. You see Chris Blackbrick,
Oh, they live.
and you can see his wife. They run up towards you, kind of out of breath, and just kind of like fall to their knees and taking everything in. I don't know what to say, but thank you.
A lot has
Thank you so
happened
much.
here today, but as far as the calm of the storm is concerned, this is a win.
Leah sheathes her sword, sort of walks up cross-armed and start heading toward the black bricks. And as she passes, she says, "Don't thank us yet."
We are not done.
No, not really. I'm sort of more referring towards the people who got burned, and also the fact that we chopped Runa in half.
Well,
We've at least ruined her plans. Rooting her out and cutting her down should not be as difficult as it has been thus far.
I'm just saying they don't know that we cut her in half. Let's keep that on.
I know, I'm not telling her, but I'm saying like that's what I sort of do. That's what I do. Like I pass by her
I-
sword sheath, cross arms, saying,
Don't
"Don't
thank us
thank us yet,"
Yeah.
and I'm kind of got that
I-
implied.
I think we almost ended her today.
So who Eldrin, you have the pendant?
Yeah, I took the broken pendant and I was like, this thing will...
So what did you do with it?
I mostly just pocketed it and then
Okay.
and then take it to my room in the black bricks and just like, take a long rest, wake up, and then okay, let's see what this actually is, what crystal it is, that kind of thing.
Okay. So
Promise
yeah,
my
you guys.
ass was in it.
So now we're going to for realsies end it with you guys just kind of walking back to the Black Bricks bed and breakfast with Chris and his wife. Trying to think what her name is.
I
know it's an M. My notes are not very neat.
Rosa.
No.
Rosa.
What, you mean
wait.
Runa?
She's literally
No,
an NPC.
yeah, no, it's
in-
Rosa. Rosa. Yep, you're right. I thought it began with an M for some reason. But no, that's
I
right.
thought so
Rosa,
too, for a
Rosa and
second.
Runa.
Yep.
Okay.
Ruined her.
All right,
Sweet.
guys. Well, fun sesh.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
A few potentially disasters happened.
Well, the
Yeah.
brunt of the boss fight is done.
Yeah, and as you guys are going back to the Black Bricks, you can see like a bunch of civilians at this point, like just trying to put out the effigy, just like throwing sand on it and shit.
As
Better
far
just
as we
let him-
can, as far as we can tell,
Did people tell them where to find children?
As far as
Yes.
you
Yeah.
can tell,
So-
about how much of the town seems to have survived this.
I
Like,
mean,
if we were to take a rough percentage of the amount of people we've seen.
you have no idea.
Okay.
But how many people do we see inside that construct?
Yeah,
Hundreds.
hundreds. There are literally hundreds and hundreds of people that
But,
were
like,
stacked up,
I had-
almost like if you can imagine this giant figure and the masks, which represents one person, covered it like scale.
a head count.
Okay, I think it's safe
of-
to say that at least almost half the population died.
A head count of the survivors, though. Probably how many.
You have no idea. You don't know
Okay.
exactly how many people live in the village, and
Yeah.
like a lot of people died today. You know that much,
Mhm.
and there seem to be some people that live, but
Oh, also,
have-
before he takes a short rest, Ragnar does go and try and find the Raven outpost and tries to send the Raven.
okay, he does so.
And
Really?
he just really says, like, the town of Utsad has been brutally attacked, and we need reinforcements as quickly as manageable. And he sends that to somebody important in Volstans that he would know.
Okay.
Most likely his commanding officer.
Yes.
Great.
Okay. All right. You guys have a good week. Good time.
tomorrow, the guys and my session gets to find out whether we'll have more early on.
Yeah. And potentially another boss fight or two, because we've been having a lot of those. No, actually, there is a boss fight. We gotta kill a party member. Oh god.